who's been watching today one more time. Andre, Fabian, Ramin, everybody there, Brendan, involved with Trader TV Live. It's been a good one. Am I going back to the desk that I just hear? All right, so I'll see everybody later. Back up to Adair, then to the midday.
Yeah, thank you, Sean, for the shout out there. And shout out to Sean and Joe for a great morning show. Can't wait to see what the midday has to bring. But in the meantime, Amazon news. Nothing massive here, but just keep an eye here in AMZN, Amazon Web Services, investing $1 billion with the goal of embedding AI engineers with customers. Again, $1 billion investment towards embedding AI engineers with customers for AWS. Without further ado, it's time for the midday.
And bang. Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. Do you know this guy? Have you seen this guy?
No, never.
That's your boy Joey Options. I'm Sharif, and welcome to FCEL Day.
Uh-oh.
I told y'all.
Stop it.
I told y'all. Another 20%, 25% yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Ring the profit bell if you are an FCEL investor, as I am. Of course, Hangry Wife, Uncle. We got Juan Padilla. We got Yannick. We got Counter Hall. Shout out to Matthew Byrne and Monarch. We got Lee, the frickin' conductor, Roger Noonan and Yannick. Shout out to Ben 10, Customer, ATH. Who else? Stuart Lonsdale. Lonsdale. Don't we know a Lonsdale from the Palantir?
Joe
Lonsdale.
I was gonna say Joe,
Joseph
my boy
Lonsdale.
Joe over there.
Crouching Tiger Hidden Rally. Shout out to my man, Christ Eternal God. Yes, get it, China. I love when you do that, man. Hey, Jensen, Blicky Spears in the house.
I'm gonna put my
we got Oli Gap. We got Trading Nurse. Shout out to Rennie, Arcane Sway, Sean Hodge. I used to know Michael Hodge. Do you know Michael?
I used to know Michael Hodge.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, does he have a younger brother?
I wouldn't remember, man.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't remember Michael.
Stone broke since yesterday. Hail from Lee, New York, says Old Soul Asunderer. Shout out. Luis, we got K. Stell, Callum Mitchell, Miller, Caleb Brown, and Andrew Chow, me, myself, and DEY9SV. Angry Wife, shout out to Roland. We got, who else, man? Mohammed. Lars Stoners, Day Trade and Dividends. That one I like. Monarch, Turbo Temple, and one more. Buzz Daz. Good morning to everybody, and good morning to you, Joey. How's everything on the morning show, my man?
Yeah, we were good, man. We had a couple opportunities. We were red, then we went green, and then we took a little bit of a loss there on NVDA. But, guys, VinFast continues to expand beyond vehicle sales. This week, VinFast India partnered with Shriram Finance to support EV financing access, while Green SM launched all-electric ride-hailing in Kazakhstan with VinFast VF6 vehicles. Together, these moves highlight VinFast's broader mobility ecosystem strategy. You can find them on the Nasdaq under ticker VFS. Go check out VinFast.
All right, Joey, let me just get to the FCEL analysis here, guys. Guys, I took some off the table today, but my next profit target now on the sell, I'm looking for that 200, okay? We cleared the 50. We're above the 10. We're above the 20. We're above the 50. And goodness golly, wouldn't it be nice if we got to or above the 200, and that 200 Joseph Options is sitting right at $61.57. I also like this area that we took out right at 27, 28 bucks. Very pleased with the trade on FCEL, guys, but this one, in my humble submission, is around for a good time, not too much of a long time. So ring the profit bell, okay? Don't fall in love with the name. I don't believe personally in the catalyst, okay? We've talked about these names before and kind of how Bloom Energy was doing its thing, but it wasn't really doing anything specific to its moat. It was just taking advantage of energy needs. So just keep that in mind, all right, guys, if you're a long FCEL like myself. All right, here we go. Let's start with the biggest, the baddest of the gappers right now up. Joseph, 366%, and it's not even at the day's high. I'm talking about CLZ. CLZ, shout out to my American friends. 450 resistance. I won't be convinced otherwise. but we do have this area of prior resistance or prior support, pardon me, right around 380, 3 4/5, give or take, that we're now using as resistance. So first things first, let's get through that 380-ish area decisively, and then we're looking at 4. Then I think if we can get above and stay above 4, there's a good chance we can try and make a move for that 4 3/4, which is the high of the day. So CLZ in focus. SRFM, another one. And this one was all sorts of strong yesterday, right around 7 a.m. But right as 10 a.m. came by, it was right where it started at 7 a.m. So it started at 88 pennies, got all the way up to $1.41. And, by the end of the day, it even went lower. So this one, keep in mind, it has a tendency, a propensity, a tradition of dropping off its area highs. Alas, today we do have a lower high than yesterday at $1.30. Be alive to that, okay? So SFRM. We're also looking at CUPR, up 57 4/5. This one was all sorts of strong in the pre-market, namely 7 a.m. Good thing, though, is we took out that 7 a.m. high, which was right at 7 1/5. We got 770 area high, but we do have a double top in and around there. So be alive to the double top at the $0.75 area. Oust, OUSD. This is a former convict. We know this one. It shows up a lot on the scanner, but I got to tell you, this one is looking like it's on the way down here. I'd like possibly something off $60 to $59.50. It's also more expensive of a name, so you're going to have to factor that into your spread analysis, into your cost analysis, the whole thing that we often talk about. Joey, INDI, Indy. I ain't talking about independent films, baby. $4.34, the high of the day. It's been very respectful of the 10 EMA on the 5, and it's stair-stepping up. Like,
Go ahead. I'm just listening.
415 was a prior area of resistance, and then it started using it as support. And then 4 1/5 was a prior area of resistance, and they started using it as support. So what I'm trying to say is structure here very much looks like a staircase. Stair stepping up. Be alive to that as well. 4 1/3, as I mentioned, the high of the day. Got a couple more, and then we'll send it back to Joey. And UAI, this one could lose its spot momentarily here on the side chart because it has lost the volume weighted average price. 665 is VWAP dropping all the way down to 650. This one displeases me, but we're going to keep a close eye here, Joey, on CELZ. I wonder if this one can get through $4.
All right, cool, man. Good stuff, good stuff. I don't know if you can, hold on, Assassino, say something in my ear here momentarily. I'm plugged in and I'm logged into Unity. I don't hear anything.
Whisper sweet nothings in his ear, baby.
Oh, ooh. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. But I don't hear what I want to hear over here. But anyways, aside from that, guys, I mean, nothing crazy really going on. We're just like one trade away, as we typically are, from turning this ship around. We had some good opportunities. I wouldn't say I'm kicking myself because it's the nature of the beast. SPCX here. And this is just a completely missed opportunity, especially on the reload. This name has been strong. Like, we had the lows of the day, the intraday session, that is 162. Now you're climbing up to 169. Like, man, we have to re-engage in this opportunity and just take that second leg higher as SpaceX now taps into 170. Yeah, I mean, you miss a couple of those opportunities. We get that initial leg, and we took that loss on Enphase earlier this morning, but then we just turned the ship around, and it's like, okay, why not stick to the names that have been working for us instead of heading over to something that hasn't been performing very well, and that's NVDA. Like, I'm over here trying to change this because I personally, in the long-term account, have confidence in it, and I want it to perform well, but that doesn't mean it's going to perform well. You just have to try to eliminate that form of a bias and just stick to what's actually working from an intraday standpoint. And again, hindsight being 2020, we head over to our watch list. I don't have much going on right now, ladies and gentlemen, so I have no issue sitting on my hands for a little bit. Maybe I can find a small cap gapper that looks like it wants to pick up a little bit of momentum, but there's goggles now turning positive. We were talking about this being down a fifth of percent. Now it's up a fifth of percent, 3.2% here in SpaceX, and then Tesla up 0.5%, starting to pull back a little bit, holding this shelf. Now a pullback in towards the volume weighted average price with some forms of indecision. I may like this one. Gaurav, I wonder what you've been trading here today. Let me know if you see any prints across the board. I want to get involved in some of them. But right now, it's going to be a little bit of a cooler one for me. Had the opportunities, didn't take advantage of them, but this nice bull flag breakout here on advanced micro devices starting to look pretty good here.
Are those devil's horns that he has tattooed on his forehead?
No, they're like chips.
Oh, my bad.
You see how
those were devil's
you see, like, but the way it's designed, it makes it look. But the thing is, though, Sharif, I can't hear it.
You can't hear it.
No, I don't know why.
Why not?
Well, I don't know. That's something I'm trying to figure out.
Give old Robbie Rob a call. Just don't call him Robbie. I got very upset.
Oh.
All right.
Hopefully you didn't hear that.
I know, right? Good thing. Let me know when, Tiffany. All right, let's do this. All right, guys, quick reminder. Trader TV Live members get Sharif's, mine, daily morning research note every trading day. We're talking the big market stories, the key levels, the trade plans, the catalysts, and what we're watching into the open. It's only $4.99 a month, and you also get members-only videos, posts, custom emojis, and loyalty badges. Hit join below this video to become a member. And I'd be remiss, Tiffany, if I didn't go through an actual one here so that we can show them IRL what you get. So initially, this was devoted entirely to the fundamentals, to the story, right? But we listened to what you guys want. This is a trading show. So we're literally spoon feeding you guys the levels. We're talking about support. We're talking about resistance. We're talking about structure. Like, what the hell am I looking at here? I'm seeing things go up, go down. We decipher all that for you by giving you the structure that jives with the support and resistance. And then you get a bias, right? For example, iPhone today. The neutral, it was a neutral bias here with 277, but a sustained move back to 290 is needed to improve the intermediate term outlook. Well, look where Apple's at right now, at 287. Then right below that, you get the trade plan. And the thing about the trade plan is you're gonna get the 15-minute assessment and the 4-hour. Well, why are we doing two? Because one of them is an intraday trade where we're looking for intraday levels of support and resistance, and the other one is a swing context. And we chart using the swing methodology on the 4-hour up to like 3 months. So you really take into consideration all the recent price levels, and it gives you exactly what to look for there, as well as the catalyst watch and the execution mindset, so you go into this the right way. Make sure to get that if you are subscribed every single morning. It is in the YouTube homepage, but it is, as I mentioned, for members only. All right, CELZ, making a big move up here, Joey. It just got back into $4. This is the level we were looking for here. We need a decisive break and take and a hold of $4. This thing is a big, it's done a lot of volume, and it has a lot of eyes on it here. 381%, having done 133 million shares so far. But that's all the good news. The bad news is we're still trading below 4. And I think if we don't decisively clear that $4 area, we're likely heading back to either 3.5 or 3.25. And at worst, we lose 3. We lose 3, it loses a spot on the side chart. So keep an eye out on that. Anurag, how early do I wake up? I get up at 5 a.m., man. I'm in the office at 6:30. That's the way I like it.
That's the way I like it.
That's the way I like it. Get him, Joey.
Yeah, I like dancing, man. I like going out there. Big Sean.
You won't be dancing outside, I'll tell you that, bro.
I do though.
That's
you know
crazy,
me, man.
Joey. Bro, I walked to the gym. I'd already gotten a workout.
Bro, you gotta understand.
Workout,
you gotta understand. So yesterday, nice and humid, right? We'll get back into talking stocks. I'm not long NVDA or Apple. That is Sean's position. So I come home, right? I do my thing, and then for me, like I'm a small town boy living in the big city. So I treat it as so. I walk to the store, my flip-flops, no tarp. I go and I wash my car. I just go to the car wash, just got my flip-flops, just chilling, no tarp, and just go and do that thing because that's just how I am.
That's just how he is.
I'm actually a nature boy. Like, you gotta understand, I also, I grew up like going on canoe trips and like living on the river and stuff at times for an extended period of time, and just being in camps and going to cottage country and doing all that stuff where it's just like, hey, be one with nature. I'm at the outdoor workout gym, no shoes, nothing, Sharif. That's just how I like to roll.
You like to roll that way. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
I really appreciate that type of stuff, man, to be honest with you.
I got to tell you, nothing pleases me more than losing all my body water and fluids, and then, just absolutely...
Just being... Hey, man, for some people, they're uncomfortable. For me, I'm like right in the comfort zone.
He's comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. There goes NVDA right back to the top side, guys. I'm not going to play this break again, but the volume did start to step in on the lower time frames. I'm not in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. I will momentarily. I knew I should have re-engaged, shoulda, coulda, woulda, obviously. Doing some other things. Re-engaged at the lows because This is what it typically does. I want to buy, I'm buying at the higher end of this range, which is significantly more difficult in a name that hasn't been performing the best. But what we do is have a nice support system, which will probably put you right around that 195 marker that Sean was talking about bright and early this morning. So if I played the volume weighted average price break, then I think that would have given me a good opportunity to gain this leg. But I didn't get to take advantage of it. It's a mistake on my behalf, but guess what? Good thing there's plenty of time left within the day, and we can correct those mistakes. And there's going to be a lot of opportunity. We talked about AMD finally breaking out, up 5% here today, Sharif, so that's looking absolutely phenomenal. And Marvell up 7%. We wait for the pullback. Risk to reward may not be there, but if we can get a trend day, I'll like that in NVDA.
He's going to like it, guys. All right, man. Joey, I got to tell you, I don't like anything, though.
I don't like. I didn't see anything in small cap land either.
The CELZ, it's there. It's up almost 400%. It's above VWAP. But the problem is, I'm not liking the $4 rejections. What I do like, though, are the higher lows. And generally, I want to say it's respecting trend with some higher lows and higher highs. But the problem is, we're getting real close to breaching prior bar low. Prior bar low takes us below 370. Let's give this one the old community college try. We're going to go 366 for the out, so we'll give it a little bit of room here, Joey. So we're in at 77s. Let's see if this one can mosey on up. Mosey on up. I'm in a mood today, I'll tell you that.
What kind of mood? Is it a good one?
In a good mood, in a good mood.
That's good.
But kind of delirious as well. I think I lost a lot of bodily fluids, and I didn't feel 100%.
On the walk?
Yeah. Just in general, and in the gym too. Sweating profusely.
All right.
So that's not my jam. There goes CELZ. See ya. Give them better news.
Just not SpaceX related news, but it's X related, but there is a bit of an uptick going on in SpaceX's reaction. So X has launched a hosted MCP server for AI tools to connect to its platform. So X has unveiled a hosted model context protocol, which is an MCP server that lets AI tools like Claude, Cursor, and Grok, G-R-O-K, connect directly to the X API using users' own account permissions. And this is coming from multiple sources. So this sees X join companies including GitHub, Slack, Notion, Stripe, and Salesforce in offering of official MCP servers. So with that, there was a little bit of an uptick in SpaceX as a reaction, which is up 4% on the day.
Thank you very much, Sia. Excellent as always. Guys, thank you very much, Grunfeld. Thank you very much, Tisha. Electrolytes. Roger, I've been actually meaning to throw in electrolytes into my my routine there because, we're supplementing nicely these days, but I haven't found the right one. Tiffany, if I can, thank you. CUPR ripping up into 750, 770 high. This one is moving bigly, as he would say. 758, look like 760 current bar high, 770 double top. So let's see how this cookie crumbles. It does have a tendency, as you can see here from the pre-market action, as well as the recent action there at 1050, 1055. When this makes a new intraday high, it almost immediately sells off, and pretty aggressively at that. So you need to be alive to that. CUPR is all gas, no brakes. Let's pull it up. Let's pull up over here, CUPR, to see what the spread is like, the volume is like, and whether there's bamboozlement afoot at these levels. Let's watch here. 69 seller. The tape is moving crazy, as well as it should be. It's done about 15.5 million shares of volume, but I'll submit to you the biggest volume bar coming in at 1050 on the day. So didn't do the most amount of volume in the pre. Currently 802 limit up. Not like I'm looking for this one to halt, but you got to keep a close eye on that. CLZ testing 4 again. We're taking prints. We just got 88s printed there, or did we? I think it got up to 88, but didn't. Yeah, it did fill me. Let's go ahead and wait at 97s now. So we're going to look for continuation on CLZ simultaneously, keeping an eye, Joey, here on CUPR as it rips up again into that 770 level, and again, it is met with selling. So watch out here. There is a seller of note, and he's got conviction in his cause. 770 triple top. This guy's killing me today, bro. I think I'm just delirious, though. I gotta tell you, the delirium is kicking in, bro.
Have you ever had one of those IVs?
I've never, but I've seen people have them at parties and stuff like that.
They're pretty expensive, apparently.
Okay, so a friend of mine was invited. Watch out, CUPR made a new high day. Now it's bleeding its own blood. a buddy of mine was invited to a wedding, and it was a Colombian wedding.
Oh, okay.
And they do it big, Joey. They do it big. It was very big. It was in Barranquilla. Her sister, they're both from Colombia, but they immigrated here anyway. They went back there because not all their family could get visas. So they came back, they went back and they did it there. And like they had this 2 ambulances on site in the wedding grounds.
IVs. Yeah, man.
Because they were partying all night, man.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to go to sleep. They're like, look, man, we don't
Give it
want to
the
go to
IV.
sleep, right?
Crazy. What? Yeah. All right, get the good way. It's not hard to find over there in Colombia. Colombia. All right, yeah, here it is. SPCX, man. Man, oh man, Los Pollos Gorev. What a missed op here from your boy. But it is what it is, guys. We got 5% to the north side in this bad boy. So, yeah. I mean, we're not going to cry about it or anything along those lines, even though I feel like it, because it could have been a one-and-done scenario. Wow, well, I shouldn't say that, because we took a loss on SpaceX on Enphase, and then we're like, yo, let's get involved with this. And then sure enough, off to the races we go. But we do have a $2 subject to our guy, from our guy, Adam James Abroad. Vamos, Paraguay and Morocco. Boom, 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 boom. You better be cheering for Canada, my boy, on that one. Thank you for the $2 super chat.
He's great.
Yeah, he is great. And thank you once again, my friend. This thing wants to keep going, my friend. This thing, yeah, it looks like it. I was shorting SpaceX today, a bit red now. That's okay. You'll turn things around. Plenty of time left in the day. I'm like half a trade away from turning this ship around, which is exactly the position that I want to be, and I always tend to be. So hey, man, I told you one step away, always just one punch away. So other than that, guys, we could head over to our watch list, see what we got going on. As we are up 4.5%, mentioned that. Apple 2 1/5. Google, you're positive today, now up 0.8, and you have NVDA up 1.5%. Now, where's the weakness really stepping in? You guessed it, the crypto space. I bid down to 32.99. MSTR down 10%, giving back the majority of its gains from yesterday. Ethereum down 3.6. BMNR down 5.4. Coinbase 5.2. Need I pour more salt into the wound? Absolutely. CoinL down 10%. Circle down 12%. Bull down 8%. SoFi down 9%. The only positive dog in this one is Robinhood, Tiffany. So Robinhood, you know that we have that one here today. We've had it for quite some time, I guess, my friend. Okay. But holding on to positive, good. I like the decoupling, so that's not too bad of a look, but let's send things up to see.
Thank you so much. Yeah, just keep an eye out. Huge uptick here on Apple, continuing to climb. Apple Pay. Apple will be letting shoppers check out using American Express points. AXP also a little bit to the upside, not too crazy here, but Apple continuing to climb, up 2.35% on the day after the news that Apple Pay. Apple will be letting shoppers check out using American Express points.
My stop got blown through on CELZ. Crap. Yep, that's the, it giveth, it taketh away. And there it is. It fails 4. It blew right through my stop. Oh, that gets my goat. But, you know, that's the cost of doing business. I didn't gauge this one as a bamboozler in chief. Usually when I see these ones as bamboozlers in chief, like I'll put a very wide spread so that I can kind of avert this eventuality. But there you go. We give back a little bit here on CELZ. Let's see what the damage is over here, Joey.
Go check the damage.
The damage is no good. No.
Nothing worse than checking the damage.
It's okay. It's not too bad. It's not too bad, but that's the way it is. Yeah. All right, we're in CUPR here after that epic flush from 802 down into 7. I think it's still holding trend, so, you know, we're going to give this one a little bit of room, but I'm looking for CUPR to zig and zag. Let me see if it can get up back into the $0.25. That'll be my first profit taker there. We'll see what this one has to offer. But guys, do not neglect the sell. I'm talking about F-sell. It's looking good intraday in the same way that it is looking good swingish. And we're up another 1%. And here comes 36.25 again. If we clear 36.25, I think we could have an opportunity to get to 37.25, which is the high of the day. So look at this, Joey. Look at this. This is the kind of thing that doesn't keep me up at night. But it would if I took it more seriously.
Okay.
Like, this is really frustrating. That drops all the way down to 3.25, and now it's right back into 3.75. So CELZ, something to keep in mind there. And we just got stopped out again on our CUPR trade. So we're overdue to start the morning over here. It is not the good. We got to iron down and check out the names that are not bamboozling me. So we're going to look for some slower names, INDI and PROK. I'll have more to say on those ones when we get back.
Hold on now. Before we send it over to Sia, look at SpaceX, 5% buy program. Yeah, it's a buy program right now in this bad boy. Tesla not performing as good, but it's now up 0.8%, closer to 9. So buy, or don't listen to what I'm saying. It's complete. Yeah, buy, Felicia, on that one. Janice, what's going on over here? $172 and change. We were long for 162.
The videos coming out of that Janice party are hilarious.
Joey missed another one, man. Taylor. All right, let's send it over.
Thank you so much for that. A bit of an uptick here on the stock Enphase Energy, ENPH. So the United States is preparing a ban that will be targeting Chinese energy inverters specifically. The United States, repeating again, preparing a ban that is targeting Chinese energy inverters. ENPH on the upside, currently up almost 3% on the day.
Missed another one.
No, but he said
Joe, you
below
missed
that.
100% of the shots you don't
exactly.
take. I'm taking that. You know, you ever hear that? You ever hear that one story where Michael Jordan made crazy? I'm comparing myself to that. Anyways, he made up a story where someone said something about him, but they never said it, just so he can get fired up.
That guy would always get motivated when people fired him up, eh? I don't understand. Like I don't operate in that way. It looks like you do.
I do. Very
I don't need to operate in that way. I'm motivated naturally, bro.
That's
you know
fine.
what I mean?
I'm sure Michael Jordan is motivated naturally. I am too. So. But again, you just do that.
You get extra motivated when people talk smack.
KC526 in the chat. What's up, darling? I hope everything's going good over there. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a good one, man. I'm just relaxing right now. I don't see anything that I like. Things are a little bit extended, in my opinion. I'm not going to be buying NVDL in the middle of this chop fest range. We have to wait for a little bit more of a liquidity grab, and then we'll take it from there. But yeah, other than that, how else you dunk, Joe? Says Jacobar. What's up, brother? Joey drinks the tears of, oh, my boy Benny Affleck. Yeah, I love you, man. Love everybody, man. I know Taylor's
Whose
regular.
tears are you drinking?
The tears of my opponents, he said.
I believe that.
I like that one, man.
I believe it.
That's a good. That's a really good one.
Do you like salty drinks?
No.
No. Okay.
Do you like tahini?
Tahina?
Yeah. No. Is it
tahini?
No, not like tahini, like the stuff that goes on like the rim of a drink. That like spicy stuff. You never? Oh, damn. All right. I could be saying it wrong, man. So you know me and my words. SanDisk up 7%. We talked about Applied Materials at 4% this morning as well too. So things are looking pretty good in this trickle-down chip trade. So we have the airlines and some of the cruise lines being real strong. The chat's going to chime in here momentarily. But the banks are weak today. Oppenheimer just handing out red cards left, right, and center today via the banks.
Yo, apparently KC526 had a V12, and I need to know immediately. I want to know 10 seconds ago, Casey, what car you had as a V12. I'm guessing Aston Martin. I could be off. Maybe Bentley, right? There's also the possibility you had, you know, the S-Class. My goodness.
Yo, you know what Casey said the other day?
What did she say,
She's like, she was having an off day. She's like, I'm bored. So she went and she's like, yeah, I just went car shopping and bought a new car.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you're a printer.
Yeah, when you're a KC.
When you're printing storms, like KC526, that's exactly what happens.
Can take me. I mean, yeah, I was going to say that.
All right, guys, I'm keeping my eye here on a couple of slower names. Let's get to these ones because I'm displeased with my start to the day. INDI, let's start on this one over here. So there's a bit of a slower mover, but it is up, bless you, see a 6 1/3, pardon me, stair stepper. So I'm looking for a move down, possibly into 430, give or take. That's where the 10 EMA is. Let's go ahead and throw an order for that area. I'm gonna wait at 33s. See what we can get. I'm also going to keep my eye on PROK. Oh, GVH. GVH is moving. Shout out to KC526. Big mover here. GVH breaking out here midday, 48%. Who are we going to remove from this area? CUPR. No, we're going to leave that on for a little bit longer. GVH. Thank you for that one, Case. Great call by you on that. So 542 high. Coming back in here. Does it hold 5? Does it even lose 5 1/5? I'm looking for 5 here. If we can get something in and around that $5 area, I'm going to go ahead, say 507s. Let's see if we can get something single digits. but there's a buyer currently at 19, 18 now showing up. Okay, so for the moment, they've sidestepped that level, but there's a buyer here at all these low double digits. Okay, here it comes again. And here's another bigger move. Back into 5.25, 27 seller. Let's see if we can kind of take out 33s. I'm going to put a liquidity tester right at 30. Right back down it goes. No, that's not the one I want right there. So we'll put some at 30 just to see if we can get liquidity in and around there. But GVH, not a bad one. Not a bad one at all. Let's see if we can get that single digit print. Going to wait at 07s. Let's go ahead and do that. But it's going to have to hold up 5 for me here, just to keep that in mind. How's the other one doing? We didn't get the print quite yet on INDI. I'm looking for a bigger move down on that one. But GVH is the one that I really want to focus on now. We've got 28s, showing 25s. Let's put something else in the mid-30s. Should this one get an aggressive price spike up, let's put something in the 40s as well, and maybe even the mid-40s. 29 seller now in the 35. Good prints, 38. High a day breach. Get it, Casey. Let's go, baby. 37s, 42 high. Looking for the $half breach. No continuation currently. So still zigging and zagging. Nope, nothing yet. We need a definite breach of 5.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a liquidity tester right around 47s to see if we can kind of see if the sellers are going to step in ahead of that $half, which is oftentimes what they do. But currently we're dealing with a 28 seller here, so we'll have to pack the patience on that. Chicago, bro, GVH only has a $7 million market cap. Yeah, the smaller the better, quite frankly, for me anyway, right? See, that's the thing about these ones, Chicago, right? We're trading these intraday, so we're not necessarily falling in love with the names. Sometimes I don't even look at what the catalyst is because I don't care, right? There's now a seller at 38, and they've shown up twice now. There it is, 39, took him out, but right back below 38, there's a high 30 seller here who's a staunchy little bugger who keeps showing up. So we haven't even made it quite yet into the $half. I want to see if we can test that. Now, we didn't get anything at the 40 penny print because we didn't quite make it up there. So continuing to watch GVH here do its thing. RZLV says good O 2330. Shout out to my man. Taylor Batty saying the same thing as well. Both you guys saying the same thing here. So RZLV. Yeah, good call, guys. Good call. Great call on that one. We're going to keep an eye on it, but I just want my trade to resolve here with GVH because we're kind of in no man's land and anything can happen. So I need to just be patient with this one. 38, 40, again, selling. Nice move up here. We're taking prints. We're doing well, but we're not getting the bulwark of the shares out because it keeps rejecting that high 30s, low 40s, Joey. GVH, what I'm looking at.
Good stuff, man. What are you talking about, S-Dot? Oh, my God. Yo, what? Yeah, bad? Oh, my God is right, though, to be honest.
Is Dot
things like
moving
$50? What?
Oh, my days.
What the heliante?
What the heliante?
This thing was $10 not too long ago. Hopefully some of you and Adam James are still holding that. I mean, that's a pretty good runner if you ask me, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it moving again?
Dude, yeah, it's up like another couple percentage points. Not even on this. Oh, yeah, it's up 40% today. So, yeah, that's a pretty good mover. 141 million shares traded here today on Creative Medical Technology, INTZ. A lot of these names seem to, seem to be under, get that garbage out of here, under the volume weighted average price. I don't like that. What's GEM up to under VWAP, at VWAP? Lots of low volume. What happened? Come on, PDT rule. Everybody was having fun for the first couple of days, and now it seems to be gonzo. A lot of liquidity stepping out of this market. So I'm going to probably stick to the large caps for today's intraday session as AMD establishes a new high of the day. We're still consolidating here on NVDA. This name is definitely in no man's land. You've got to be cautious. Buying in the middle of the range or the top end of this range is absolutely disastrous. You thought you'd get some form of a continuation with the consistent higher lows. Nuh-uh. Boom. Liquidity grab. This is just... This is the stuff that really grinds my gears because I know better. It's like, why am I buying up here in an underlying asset that hasn't been performing the best and then comes back, stops right at some support levels, and then climbs right back towards your entry level? So you don't want to hold it on to it just in case it continues to slide. But this is the real entry, right? Like, this is where you get them even at the break of VWAP. That's even significantly better. Why? Because I can just risk the low of the day opposed to me being all the way up here in this neck of the woods where I have to risk at 28.89. So risk to reward is really important, especially when things haven't been performing and you're not in like these day after day buy programs where you're just seeing just this unified strength within the underlying asset itself. So I think it's going to be a quiet one here for me today, like literally down a couple of cups of coffee at this point, which isn't bad. And if there's a good opportunity, Apple up 2.4%. Cool stuff. We like that one. Cool beans. And now Google, here it is. Now that's starting to break trend. This is what I like. Do I buy a little bit more right here? I think so, Sharif. I'm going to pull the trigger on some more goggles.
I like it, Joey.
Even though I do believe we're getting a little bit deeper of a pullback, that's pretty good if you ask me. 18% from the peak to that local low. I mean, hey, I was grabbing some at 50s. We're at 55 right now, so that's not too bad. I can definitely average into something that's been working for me.
Sorry, just give me a few minutes,
I
brother. I'm
rock
just
and
setting
roll
up
here.
some stuff. Yeah.
So you can do what you got to do. I mean, what do we do here with the crypto space here, guys? I don't know.
It's a big problem.
What is liquidity grab, my man, says Chris Eternal. For sure. Let's actually go over it. So I'm going to use a comparison from what I know best. So what we hear, my friend, is in order for an underlying asset to continue to climb a little bit higher, there has to be demand. Okay, so there has to be individuals and participants who want to own the stock at a higher price. Now, what can happen is you have a bunch of stop orders for individuals who think that we're going to continue to climb a little bit higher, but there's no demand up here. So what happens? The market makers will say, oh, we have a bunch of stop orders. Let's move price a little bit lower to create the demand at higher prices. So the liquidity grab would be all the individuals like myself who have too tight of a stop get stopped out, absorbing the liquidity. So you have shares which now they obtain, and it allows the market to move a little bit higher because there's no resistance, there's no need or no further supply south of specific levels and north of specific levels. I don't know if I did the best explanation of that, but that's how I perceive things.
All right, man. I respect that. All right. We're in GVH. This one, I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about this one. We're 5 pennies out of the money. It did lose 4, but it was quick to retrace. 5. It was quick to retrace above 5, but it's got no continuation. There was a seller at 15. Now there's a seller at 10. Not sure how this cookie crumbles. We'll continue to be patient, allow my stop to trigger wherever it lies. Ooh. We're going to see what happens with this one. I've got more to talk about, though. We'll keep an eye on some of the other names that are not moving as aggressively. But for now, I'm going to send you up to the big desk for the Dara and Juan for the Euro close.
11:30 has come and gone, and that means the European markets have closed for the day. Here to take us through that close is Juan.
Thank you, Dara. So, European markets closing a little bit volatile, but all in the green. It's been a volatile second quarter of the year, don't you agree, Adair?
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, so here, let's take a look at some of the indexes. Stocks Euro 600 up, basically buoyed by deflating macro inflation fears. One of the big movers today was Germany, the DAX. That was up by 1.29%, and mainly on the surge, about 5.3% surge in Siemens Energy, as well as a 3.6% advance in Infineon. And even in France, they stabilized over some positive territory, shaking off recent luxury drags and cooling regional consumer price points. Now, some of the big stories coming out of the region, continental chip shares, they stabilized to end a very AI-pressured month of June. We see ASML up by about 2.1%, but the sentiment is still remaining a bit tense, especially after news yesterday on that raid on Supermicrocomputer over the alleged NVIDIA chip smuggling into China. So keep a lookout on that. Some of the big company names making headlines in the continent, we had some localized corporate swings. Bridgepoint, they surged about 16.1%, acquiring that of Kane Anderson Real Estate. Deutsche Telekom, they fell by about 5.5% over SpaceX satellite competition fears. And Heidelberg Materials, they dropped by about 9.4% on weak revenue guidance. So those are the big names making headlines in Europe. But the macro standpoint right now, it's all about Sintra, Portugal, the ECB forum, Fed chair, Kevin Walsh, definitely going to be speaking tomorrow. So that's something to look out for. But other than that, also global bond yields, they kind of stabilized, especially after the U.S. Supreme Court ruling on Fed Governor Lisa Cook. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be getting Kevin Warsh 9 a.m. Eastern over there in Sintra, Portugal. Check that out, and we can check one out again here at this desk at 3:30 p.m. to talk about the Asian markets. Back over to you for now.
All right, everybody's calling out LGCL. It is moving. It's moving quite aggressively at $1.45. Here comes 150, 147, coming 148. Seller here at 47 locally. Look for continuation through the 150. CTT Mass calling it Grunfeld. A lot of other people calling it as well. Sorry if I didn't mention your name. It's just my eyes are on the screen. Seller at 47 here, staunchy little bugger. Look at this. Look at all the volume that's taking place at this 47, 48 now, but right back down into 47, zigging and zagging, Joey. All right, this one looks like it's all gas, and there it goes into 58. Limit up. 158, limit up. We need another 10 seconds at this level. Good call, guys. Great call on your part there. Watch out for LGCL. Continuing to go. 3, 2, 1. We are limit up. Halted. Joey, halt time 11:41:18.
Good stuff, man. TSLL, high trader. Yeah, let's take a look at it, man. Tesla up now 1% on the day, a little bit over than that. So thank you very much. I believe you were talking about it bright and early this morning. So let's actually just take a look at the underlying asset itself. TSLL is just a leverage vehicle that you can use from an intraday standpoint. So Tesla, we've looked at it from a daily, still in no man's land. There's going to be plenty of trades at the break of $450. That's the one thing that I really like. Just channel down, breaks again, go on a nice little run, starts to form another channel, breaks again. So let's see if this is going to be the push where we can break through some key pivots and head to $500 in the future, all right? So that's what I'm looking at. TSLL is going to be the exact same thing, just a leverage product for the underlying asset itself. Now, what I got going on is just complete sideways PA. AMD, wow. I don't know why I'm not trading this name, man. And I'm looking at NVDA, who's not doing anything. It's just hovering around the same area, like up 1.6%. Like, look at this sideways consolidation. This is a bull flag. Maybe, as long as we don't break down and start to form some demand up here, then I think we'll be okay. But I do see this. Casey doing what Casey does. Send 10 TV. That's what I'm talking about. That needs to be up there. 10 Trader TV memberships, guys. We have Ryan, FTD, Raul, Ryan O'Day. Oh, no, Ryan O'Day. You already have one. Planglos, Guin, Darthmas, Patrick getting one as well. Carl, RV Forte. So a lot of people I don't see in the chat quite often getting the membership, but hey, congratulations to you. You guys now are the proud owners of Sharif's Morning Notes. So
yeah, congratulations.
Go over and pull it up, man. Show them how many likes you're getting up on those.
Oh, yeah. Well, here you go, guys. Just head over to the YouTube homepage. If you just click home there, then mosey on over to the top where it says, where it has the tabs, click posts, then move on down, moving on down, right there to the Sharif's Morning Market Brief, June 30th. Again, you're gonna see it if you're a member. So there's the members only kind of tag. Hit that link right there, and there she goes. She's all ready for you at 7:50 and even earlier now, man. AM. We're getting these ones done earlier and earlier here, Joey. So we'll keep an eye out on that, guys. 11:41:18 halt time for LGCL. Current time is 11:44:02. So 11:46:18 is the earliest open here for LGCL. So we'll keep tabs on that. But the dot as well is moving, SDOT. Which trading screen am I going to use? There we go. We need this one. SDOT continuing to move up. Look, it's expensive. It's $51. It just got to $53. Now it's kind of retracing a little bit. There we go. $53 high coming back in. Keep your eye, though, on SDOT. Very, very strong and very directional now that it's above $50. But you're going to have to account for this almost $2 spread here. So it's quite spready, quite expensive. You need to account for that. Make sure you're using sound risk management skills. So I'm waiting here for LGCL. The top showing 160. So it's 2 pennies above where we halted before, Joey. So we'll keep tabs on that.
Good stuff, man. Stevenson, what are some stocks I'm holding long term? I mean, I have my latest purchases have been Google, TKO Holdings, which is WWE and UFC. We have JPM and a bunch of other names. We have NVDA in there, Robinhood, Walmart. We have it in our long-term portfolio. So just names that I believe are best in class, right? And we can actually do that right now. I think this is a good exercise to go through, because it's like, hey Joe, how do I know if like the company is best in class? I don't know why I pulled this up here, but what we will do is look at the best performing sectors here today from a percentage metric. I know the girls behind us go over that stuff, but there's no reason why we can't do it ourselves either, and we just explain to you guys what's going on.
Taylor Batty says he's got Walmart with you, by the way.
Okay. All right, well, I mean,
you know,
it's good to.
Just saying, Joey.
I mean, just say, hey man.
Hey man, you're a rock star.
To each their own. And if you want to own Walmart, it hasn't been performing that well, nor is what I'm about to display to you, which is very frustrating because I've been working.
Do you have Walmart?
Yeah, I told you. I've been having a Walmart for quite some time. Yeah, okay, well, this is great. I can't show it to you on there, so we're going to get that graded. We'll get that fixed up, something I've been working on for quite some time, and I've been continuously mentioning, and now it's not working when I want it to, which can, very much
open. LGCL's open, Joey. It's ramping up. Coming back down to 150. Look for a 150 hold here. Limit down. I can't quite see what limit down is, but there's a 150 buyer here of note. Let's give this one the old community college try, Joey. What do we got? 61s there, right? Oh, there we go. Okay. Give me my money, man. My money, you little punk. Give it to me. There we go, Joey. Printing. Let's go on LGCL. Here we go into 75. What do we got? 61, 77s, 80, Joey. Let's go. Looking for a little bit more. Can't quite see what limit up is. 82. Give me my money. We took it the whole thing. Mistake. All good. Looking for a little bit. I can get back in here. $2. Dipping back down. Can't quite see what limit up is yet, man. Looking for a dip. Looking for a dip into the 80s. Let's see if we can get something. Buyer at 93, 91. Let's see. Defending pretty good. Nice. Looking for continuation. 99s. Limit up. Okay, we're in 96, limit up, 99, 3, 2, 1. Come on. Yay, we're up again. Okay, so I had to add into that position. So this is a little risky for me here, quite frankly, because we're in at that $2 area, just south. So we'll have to wait and see how this cookie crumbles. But LGCL is getting a little crazy parabolic here. I did like my entry into the 160. I don't like my entry up here, but we'll see how this ends up going. So a little disappointed with myself there, Joey. Took out too much too quickly. Should have been using the hotkeys, but that's kind of the problem there. Halt. Lemon family, I am going to Houston. I'm driving. I'm going alone. I'm driving from Dallas to Houston super early on the 4th. The game is at 12 o'clock in Houston, so I think I'm going to leave Dallas like 5 a.m. or 5:30. to make sure I get there on time, because I'm worried about catching traffic on the 4th of July. That's my concern a little bit. So we'll have to see how this all works out. Casey's in at 126. Get it, Casey. Kilo, dude, you would be fun to play in Street Fighter. The inner child emerges. My man, you missed. I'm going to do it right now, actually. I played Street Fighter 2 Turbo live on the show multiple times. Who did I beat last time? Was it Zangief?
I have no idea.
You remember?
No.
All right, Joey, come on now, man. Everything's fine, man. Texas Jet fan. I live in Houston. If you want to meet up, absolutely, brother. Shoot me a message, Texas Jet fan, on the gram, and then let's organize. Dave, you going to the World Cup game? Man, I'm going to 2 World Cup games, man. We're going to Canada and we're going to Egypt, man. We're pumped. I haven't done anything this exciting in a long time, man. Let me just tell you the real deal. The real Gary F. Aren't all your execs in Texas? X's in Texas? I don't have any X's in Texas, bro. C45008. Do you think Canada has a good chance to beat Morocco? I'm going to say, where the odds are not in our favor, but I think Canada has a lot of good offensive firepower. If we're able to kind of stay organized, I think we definitely have a shot. Lemon family, hate to say most will not be going to Houston versus maybe Austin. You should be safe. Good. That's what I want to hear, man, because I'm concerned. I got to tell you the truth. 4th of July traffic in SoCal, which is where I've spent the majority of my 4th of July experiences, are just deadly in terms of traffic. So thank you, bro. Shout out to Dave. Tex. Terex. All right, let's just say Terex. I'm a champ in SFII, Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Sharif. Wonder if you can beat my Guile. Probably not, man. I'm not that good. I'm going to play a game here momentarily, but we're caught in a halt, so I can't quite do it right now. But I do want to play a game for y'all, man. This is something that I love. I love Street Fighter. It brings back memories of my childhood here, Joey. So, look, man, we're taking prints here on INDI, and we're waiting for LGCL to open. Joseph, options.
All right, we're involved with some NVDA. This is what I want to do earlier, guys. If you're looking to buy the best names in each specific, obviously you'll see some form of a rotation. But what I would do when I first started out was I would just go to each sector and look at the top holdings, right? And then you go and you look. The chances are they don't put garbage stocks in these, right? That you got to understand that. So the heavily weighted ones, you go into the XLK, you grab the top two, you go in the XLI, which is performing the best here today. Tech sector up 2%. We have the industrials up a percentage point, basic materials, right? So XLB, XLE for the energy, it's all right there. Consumer discretionary, holding on to positivity, and then the financials where I stumble upon JP Morgan, and then you just do your basic TA, right? Like, the chart's not going to lie to you. It's either the market likes it or it doesn't. So with the financials, utilities, the communication service, you can find metal and Google in there, healthcare, you can take a look in that one. And the staples, which we often talk about, you get the Walmart and the Costco's, the Procters and Gambles of the world are all up in there. And that's where you can find the best performing names, especially if you're looking to just say, hey, have that modest growth. You're not going to get that exponential, because these that exponential return usually, unless you have a complete structural change in the underlying assets itself or in the world around you. These are nice, steady, safe havens, in my opinion. And that's where I first started, and that's how I kind of got involved with a lot of them. I have no idea how I made some of my picks before. Oh my God.
You want me to take over?
No, it's okay, unless you got something going on. But like,
no, we're terrified here because the top is dropping here, Joe.
And you're caught in the hole. Okay, cover it while I pull up all of my charts here.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. The top. We're halted 11:47.41. Earliest open 11:52.41. That should be in 3 seconds. Oh boy, here we go. Bleeding its own blood. 190, 294. Looking for a little bit more. Into 97. Profit. 2 profit. Let's go. More profit. Holding a lot of shares here. Looking for a little bit more. All right. And more profit to the high side. Give me my money, man. How come it's not giving me my money, Joey? It's just, bro, it's not letting me take any prints. This is insane.
It's not funny.
No, it's not funny. It's because it's a software freaking problem, man. This is the second time this has happened. All right, I got to cool it.
Yeah.
Because I think the boys are going to get a little upset because this is a company software. This is not good, though. That's the second time that it's done this to me. Second time, when this field is blank, it doesn't let you punch out of positions. This is a serious glitch in the system, man.
Yeah, we got to tell our boy Mike.
No, I can't restart the app, Dave. It's a problem with the software.
Restart the app. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is what it is,
It's not
man.
funny, but
I'm trying to take prints and it's not letting me take out anything because there's nothing in the thing.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's not my problem. It's theirs. Anyway. Watching continuous, let's watch INDI over here, looking for a move back into that 4.5, 440 is the high there. So looking for that one to continue to hold up the 10 EMA. INDI is not bad, but it's having a lot of sell-in here, right at that 440 area. So a little upset that this one didn't clear 440. That's the third time, actually, it's rejected that 440 area. So we're going to keep a close eye on that one. But yeah, that's what I've got on for the moment.
Good stuff, man. Like, here's this bull flag. I mean, I'm buying at the top end of the range again. AMD is going absolutely parabolic here today, man. This is absolutely insane. Like, if I'm over here and I'm NVDA, I understand it takes a lot more capital to move one than the other. Like, it's crazy to think that AMD isn't even $1 trillion company. Why am I not buying this name hand over fist? Considering, like, it's showing me everything to do so. That's it, man. My narrative has changed. I'm not going to buy any right this second. We're up 7%. I don't want to buy too high on this, but like when we were holding this level, this had every bit of its body, of its being was saying buy like buy me. Like, why haven't you been buying NVDA? And it's such silly nonsense on my behalf. And I was talking with a friend and he's like, Joe, you're so hard on yourself. I'm like, you have to be. You don't understand this stuff. Market cap. We were talking about this at a $770 billion market cap, now up to 940. It's only a matter of time until we see this name turning into the next trillion-dollar company. Like, honestly, if you ask me, I'm not going to say it's inevitable, but I would rather put my bottom dollar, my money where my mouth is that this name has the ability to turn into a trillion-dollar company probably by the end of next month, especially with the path that we're currently on right now. So I love everything about AMD. And you know what? It's really tough to sit through what NVDA has been doing, and I hate continuously talking about it, but it's one of my largest holdings, and I expect the best, right? Like, some people are like, why are you so hard on it? Well, it's the people, if I didn't say anything about it, that would just mean I didn't care, right? When someone stops arguing with you or you stop saying, don't do this, don't do that, is because they probably had enough and they stopped caring, all right? Life lesson. Now I'm over and now I'm a lot more happy because I have my orange peeled. We got Alexis on fire in our ear and we're long NVDA. So everything is good in the world of not cryptocurrencies as you are circled down 13% in this bad boy, man. Oh, that's a little bit of a tough look. But CrowdStrike, listen, some news coming out of China. Just the fact that the Chinese are catching up via cybersecurity. I want to talk a little bit about Mythos lately because I think what our boy, what's his name again? Anthropic guy, man.
Claudio Amadei.
Yeah. Dario. I think he did a little bit of fear mongering there. They didn't have to release this to certain companies and they didn't have to tell everybody about it, but they decided to do so to instill some fear into some individuals. But there goes CrowdStrike, almost going back towards its old all-time high.
Okay, cool. Looking at getting back into LGCL, but south of 2, it's trying to take out 2. It's got a lot of selling here at $2, but this looks to be like the best of the bunch currently anyway, from my observation. Problem is, it's got a lower high, but it also has a higher low. So prior bar low, just for reference, is $1.84. Prior bar high is $2.15. So this candle entirely engulfed from the high side and the low side. So you got to keep an eye out on that. We could give it to prior bar low, which again is 184. Here comes 190. There's a buyer here at 190, but he's getting taken out 88. Could we lose 84 here? Buyer at 88 as well. There's a buyer in a lot of these areas. Okay, big 88 buyer. Big 88 buyer there. Let's see if we can kind of mosey on up. I'm just going to give it to prior bar low here. We'll see what this one has to offer in terms of price spikes, but we already know that there's a big seller right around $2. So I got to keep my eye out on that. We'll go just like that for that remaining amount. See if we can kind of blow through that $2 area, 195. See, that's the thing. Now we're caught in an equilibrium. There's a big seller at 95 in the same way that there's a big buyer at 88. So we're neither able to drop or ascend right now, at least from my observation on LGCL. So kind of caught in between a big buyer and a big seller. Now the seller's moving down, as algos typically do. If they were selling at 95s, they start pushing the price down to 94. There's the 88 buyer again, right back up, 90, looking for continuation. Let's see if they sell at a lower level, right? It was a 95 seller, then 94. Now it's 93. Can we see anything into the 94 area? 95 again showing up. No continuation though, Joseph. So let's see how this cookie crumbles. If we breach 2, fantastic. If we don't, there's 98, 99, big seller at 2. Can't shake the 99 seller. There it is again through. There's 2. Not bad, 201. Let's not make keystroke errors this time either. I'm going to put some profit takers in the high 2s just so that it removes the subjectivity away. That's all predicated, of course, upon it holding the level. Let's watch now. There's that 88 buyer again. So take over for a second here. I have to concentrate on the level 2.
Absolutely. So I'm going to put it in the chat right now. People are asking for what I actually hold in my personal account. And you know what? I might be missing a name, to be honest with you, but I think this is the majority of it. And bang, there it's entry, right? Like, so I have a lot of tech names, obviously. I think rightfully so, in my opinion. So NVDA, IBIT, Meta, Google, JPM, Walmart, and TKO. Micron Millionaire, nice, man. And you know what? I'm gonna be frank with you guys. I wouldn't mind even condensing that and going a little bit more heavier in tech. Like I would have no issues with eliminating a couple of those holdings, and it starts with an I and ends with a T, but I'm not going to. This show is about teaching skills. What is more satisfying to me is not huge win days, but the days I'm super red and my hedges / risk management protected me. Go Mexico and USA in World Cup. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate that one. The fact that you left out Canada there is absolutely insane, in my opinion. But hey, we recognize all forms of love. NVDA moving to the downside. I have no issues hopping out of this trade anytime. I was buying at the top end of the range again. It's just not doing anything. So this one's going to be coming off the charting. Sick of talking about it, to be honest. Let's get involved with some AMD because that name's been strong. SpaceX off a pullback and find some other high-quality opportunities. Let's send it back to the desk.
Thank you so much for that. Let's take a quick look at the three major averages at the moment. The SPY is currently up 0.64% on the day. The triple Q is up 1.4%, followed by the Dow, which is up 0.24%. So all the three major averages in the green at the moment. Let's take a look at what I want to talk to you about. We're going to take a look at the Nasdaq. So it's up more than 20% quarter to date, puts it on the pace for best quarterly performance since the second quarter of 2020 when it had gained 30.63%. It's also set for its fourth positive quarter in the past 5 quarters, which shows us the continued growth and interest in these technology shares. So this rally has definitely been fueled by renewed investor appetite for mega cap tech such as NVIDIA, Apple, Amazon, and all the AI-linked names, even though there are certain valuation concerns that keep surrounding these names. Also, the S&P 500 up more than 14% on pace for its best quarterly performance again since the second quarter of 2020 when it had gained 19.95%, very close to 20% over there. So this is the fourth positive quarter in the 5 for the index, which includes leading industries in the United States economy. Also, this is just a quick update from CNN saying that the central banks are thinking that the United States has become riskier, therefore they're planning to sell dollars and buy gold. But we're going to stop and send it to Adara.
Just beware here, guys. Apple on watch, hearing that the Supreme Court will be hearing Apple's case to appeal its Epic App Store fees. We know there was this Epic Games lawsuit against Apple. Some App Store fees were related, apparently, Supreme Court to hear Apple's appeal with regards to these fees. Keep an eye on AAPL. Not too much of a move here, but great look for the stock today. Currently near session highs. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much for that, Dave. Dave, we know what type of individual you are, man. That goes without question. I was only messing with you. You know, you're consistent. I see you in the chat every morning. It's nothing but much love for you, brother. I was only playing around with you. You are no hater. I know you want everyone to enjoy the World Cup, and that I could not agree a little bit more. It's definitely different, right? Like, it's something that I personally never got to experience. It's been pretty cool in the city, and I wish everyone gets the opportunity to experience the World Cup. What I do want to get involved with here is some SpaceX, guys. Starting to head back towards the low of the day. I'm going to post up at 170 just in case we do get a little bit of a pullback, but nothing but love for you, Mr. Dave Z. Much appreciated,
How
brother.
did you do that? I've never seen it done like that. Oh, wow. This guy's skilled, bro. Dang.
You can do a double one, too. See?
Ooh. No wonder, bro. This guy
It's all
knows
for
what he's
Dave.
doing,
It's all
bro.
for
This
it's all
guy
for
knows what
Dave,
he's
man.
doing, man. What's going on over there?
More like third World Cup.
Third one. Oh. Well, what are your first world countries?
Dave.
1 second. Why are your first world countries getting eliminated to third world countries, buddy?
Oh.
Ta-ta.
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 No, Dave, don't, man. I think you're overthinking it now, my brother. It's not awkward by design.
Yes, Sia.
It was very satisfying to see some teams lose yesterday.
Oh, no.
Very. Japan losing was so good.
see what
Sorry,
they
no
did, yeah.
offense.
You don't like
But
Japan. Well,
honestly,
I like Brazil, so.
Me too, but I'm biased. But however, they did put up a good fight. It was in the last 92nd minute when Japan thought Brazil won't do anything.
You know who scored there, Sia?
No.
For Brazil?
Who?
All Arsenal, baby. Gabriel Martinelli.
Okay.
That's our guy, Sia. All right, man. We're having a great time.
Are we?
I am.
Okay,
I just
all right,
reported
good.
it to Juan.
All right, good. All right, man.
I need to get that off my chest, man, because
it's a no good, right? Like that's, with these small gappers, Joey, I just don't have a lot of time to take profits. They're in no area for one prolonged period. So I can't have anything hinder my ability to get out, right?
Yeah,
and
for sure.
That's obviously a hindrance. So I was displeased with that. Guys, by the way, I got a couple of comments about the World Cup yesterday. Now, here's the deal. Boom, let's go. One sec, that's gonna have to wait. Breakout, LGCL, into 7, looking for more. 7 seller, big 7 seller here. But the tape is picking up pretty aggressively. Watch out for the flush. Buyer at 2. Looking for continuation. The tape is moving crazy. 7 again. 8, 9.
Get him, Sharif.
Usually I'm saying that to people. I don't know how I feel people say it to me, Joey. Like, I don't know. It's just off-putting. But man, can you tell your friend to stop selling at 8, man? And 7?
Yeah, I'll call
What is he doing over there, Joey? All right, so we're huge 7 seller. I'm out. There's too big of a seller there at 7.
that one, yeah.
We'll take that scalp. But I want to say a couple of things about the World Cup, man.
Absolutely, man.
First and foremost, that goal that was disallowed for Germany yesterday. Yeah. It just broke out again, guys. Big move up for LGCL. It's really moving. Tape teleportation here. 228 high. I can't quite see. Oh, that's why. I have it on the screen without my limit up and limit down. That's why I can't see the, okay, I'm gonna change screens. LGCL. That's why I couldn't see what limit up, limit down was. I had it on the wrong one. Okay, now we're back in business here. 215, limit up, 238. So limit up, 238. Let's see if we can kind of establish an entry over here for a bigger move up. What do we get there? 17s. 19 seller. Let's see if we can get a little bit more into the high. So I defend into 2 here, looking for a bigger move. Yeah, I'll get back to that World Cup spiel in a second here. Just need this trade to resolve. Looking to defend 2. Let's see if the buyers step back in here, coming back into 2 single digits. This is not good. Man, I just haven't had a read today, Joe.
That's all right, man.
Well, we initially had a read, and then we fumbled the keys, and then there was all sorts of bamboozlement. But continue to watch, looking for a hold of 2. Not getting that move up, but you're not losing 2 either. But Germany, I just don't think that the goalie has more right to the ball than the attacker. Each one has a right to make a move on the ball. And so what I saw yesterday was a player in the crease, in the goalie's crease, right? And he was waiting for the corner to come in. The goalie tried to make a move to get the ball, and the player obstructed him, but not purposefully. He was just standing there. He can't disappear. He can't vanish. And then they called that goalie interference, which it's not like hockey. It's not the same thing. This is one of the more subjective calls, I think anyway, in soccer, where, some referees are going to call it. Some referees are just not going to call it.
Holy.
Go ahead.
Rocket Lab, man.
Rocket Lab.
Yeah, it's going Rocket Man today for sure, Sharif. Yeah, I mean, in my breakout, that's all I want to print. $100 there on RKLB as it breaks through some of the resistance zones. Tesla's still holding up relatively strong, so you can continue. I had that up here, and Rocket Lab was just going pretty aggressive to the north side there.
Yeah, I don't think he was clearly obstructing the goalkeeper at all, Juno. He is turning to, try to make a move on the ball. The goalie turned into him, and they both ran into each other. I don't think that there was anything purposeful about that. Would the goalie be giving up a penalty if he ran into the player? Ask yourself that question. Why does the goalie get more protection when they can use their hands? They're already at an advantage by being able to use your hands, whereas players are obviously restricted to not using their hands. It's kind of, I always liken this to the running back in football, right? The running back is allowed to put hands to the face in the DB's back or whoever's back, in face, excuse me. And the reason is they're allowed to put hands to the face because they're at a disadvantage. They have to use one arm where everybody else gets to use 2 arms. And that's kind of what I feel about soccer. Why is the goalie being given special advantage, especially when we see the goalie obstructing forwards all the time? They punch them in the head. They hit them in the back with the knee when they go to make a punch on the ball. Like, it's consistent that they're obstructing forwards. So why doesn't it work both ways? That's kind of how I'm looking at that. If it was an iffy call but shouldn't be allowed to cling on to the goalie in any case. Yeah, I definitely agree. Nobody should be allowed to cling on to anybody. That's clearly, usually it's a yellow card, really, depending on where it is on the field. But that's kind of my little spiel there. I don't think Germany should have been dinged there. But anyway, let's tell them Assassino. VinFast continues to expand beyond vehicle sales. This week, VinFast India partnered with Shriram Finance to support EV financing access, while Green SM launched all-electric ride-hailing in Kazakhstan with VinFast VF6 vehicles. Together, these moves highlight VinFast's broader mobility ecosystem strategy. You can find them on the Nasdaq under ticker VFS. Thank you very much for VinFast. If it's like American football, you slightly bump the punter, it's roughing the kicker. I think that's a little bit different, brother. The kicker is completely vulnerable there, right? Right, he's trying to focus on the kick. His leg is in the air. If you hit him, he's on 1 foot, right? So that's why they protect the punter. The goalie is not in that position. The goalie has the advantage in the box. He can use his hands, whereas the attacker can't. So my view of things, opinion, view, whatever, is that you don't give more, I guess, leniency to the person with the already existing advantage. That's kind of how I feel about that. And it's one of the more, subjective calls. You'll see it called in La Liga one way. In the Premier League, it'll be called a different way. Very similar to handballs as well, where the intentionality is always, or, how far away his arm is from his body and all that kind of consideration that we look at. So that's why I view that. Mopar, LeBron informs Lakers he's moving on. Nice. Where is he? Is he going back to Cleveland? So that would be interesting to see there.
Oh, good call there, Sharif.
Yeah, well, that's what people were saying, that he wanted to go back maybe to end his career there, or Miami. People were saying it's either going to be either or. Look at this. It's done it again. See? Now I can't do anything. Yeah, see this? Yeah, this is the issue with that. Takeover.
Why does it unclear? Anyways, all right.
I don't know, brother.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So it just randomly does it, eh?
No. Like, say I make a key error mistake and I delete it there.
Oh, it goes straight to the highlight of that.
Not really. No, that's not what I mean. It just prevents me from taking any action if that field is deleted. That's what I'm trying to say there. Yeah.
All right. Let's see, man. A lot of us talking. So what I had to do over here, guys, is, I know we're talking about, we have this nice rounded bottom starting to form on this bad boy. So hopefully we can get some form of a breakout. If the trend line breaks, then maybe we obviously we will have to reassess the situation and determine if we're going to move forward with it and try any more attempts. I wanted to get involved with SpaceX one more time. I don't know why I have Rocket Labs and Tesla up here. Man, this air blowing on me is driving me nuts. So here it is, but yeah, I don't like
wait till you go outside, man.
I'm gonna love it, man. No sure and everything. It's pretty muggy though, because it was raining somewhere else. So other than that, like, you're on the backside of this trend right here. AMD just holding trend right now, guys. So that's looking really good here. And then also Tesla's just holding up, hovering around this neck of the woods. Listen, I think it's more cool than what we've seen before, man. The momentum is most definitely slowed down. We're getting some more choppy intraday sessions. I don't know what's happening over here, Sharif. Maybe I got market data disconnected. Okay, there it is. What does it say? Market data. So here's
connection
Apple.
Lost.
Yeah, connection lost. Connection reestablished.
Yeah.
So there's this downtrend. Sit on the backside of this here with AAPL. I want to actually pull this up one because our boy Blicky was talking about it. He's like, Gladstone Capital, he's collecting the dividend here on this monthly dividend. That's good, right? But one thing with these plays, for me personally, obviously to each their own, is that you got to worry about the capital depreciation. So if you're chasing yield, don't forget what you can lose from an investment standpoint as well. And if you're using the drip feature, then that might even cause you a little bit more trouble, because now you're just sending the money that you collected from your dividend into a losing stock and just buying more and more and more, and it may never recover. I'm not saying like it's bad. I know nothing about this company, and all I can really tell you is the technicals. But look what's been happening over the past little bit. I understand it's like 4 or 5% dividend, which isn't bad whatsoever, but just understand what you're doing when you're chasing yield, in my opinion.
All right, man.
I can continue. SpaceX starting to come back in a little bit. You got SCHD. Like, I don't even know half of these names that you're mentioning. I put all my long-term holdings in
Attaboy, Joey.
in the chat for everybody. And I forgot to put in SpaceX because that was something that I most recently bought in the long term. I had orders at 170, at 170 and 160. Yes. I removed my 150s and put them down to 135, and it doesn't look like we're going to catch a fill on those bad boys. So, yeah, a little bit tougher of a look, but plenty of time on the horizon for SpaceX.
My man, opinion. I hope you print up multiple storms, including myself.
I might just...
Joey. There goes LGCL into the 2.25 area, 228 high. We are very close, 24. We're in at 05s. We added aggressively into that 2 dip. So looking for continuation, but we are being kept down again below that the 28 penny area, a little bit higher than the $0.25, back into 18s, 20s showing up. Let's see if we can get a big squeeze up through the 28 penny area. And by extension of that, hopefully we touch the $0.33, wetting the beak here, holding good size, mind you, on this one, but looking for a bigger move. 26 is showing up. Big seller at 26, 27, Joey. So close to the high of the day, but no continuation through that level. 27 again showing up. Look at this aggressive selling right above the $0.25, but there's good buying here too. 34 million shares have exchanged hands. Look at the tape. Look at the speed of the tape, man. It is moving bigly, as somebody would say. Who says that, Joey?
Donald.
Get it, Donald. All right, so continuing to watch here, taking out about half the position. There it goes into another high of day options, man, into a 34. Give me my money, man. And there it goes, breaching all the levels, 38 pennies. So 28 was the high. We've got 04s. We've got good shares on, looking for more, man. We're trying to make back all the stupid mistakes that I made earlier on. That's kind of the way that is. My fault, some were not, but just leave that between you and I. In any event, continuing to watch here. Let's see if it drops down into the $0.25. Does it find a buyer? 34 is showing up again. 34, 35, 38 high, showing 37s. We're on the precipice of taking out the high, and we've taken it out again. Into 41 it goes. Boom. Looking for the $0.50 here. Who's with me on this one? Come on, guys. Who's in the chat in LGCL at the moment? Who's looking for the $0.50? And who's even more ambitious? Who's looking for 3 here? If we can take out this annoying seller in the high 30s, man, it is a different world when you're in the money on a small cap gapper, because I shouldn't say this because it's gonna. They're in it. Love you guys. Yes, man. All you guys are in it. Assassino, I couldn't look at the chat because I was trying to take prints. Thank you for helping me out, brother. Assassino always coming in clutch. They should call him King
But
Clutch.
The real question is, Assassino, are you in it?
Oh, Assassino, brother, you have been with us now for, I think, 3 very good years.
Yeah.
Right? Assassino, almost, I know. September, right? Oh, Assassino, we haven't heard anything from you, brother, right? I like Apple. I like Microsoft.
Yeah,
he likes Tesla. Ooh. I don't know. I'm not putting words in his. I know you don't like Tesla. I know you don't, because I know you don't like him, but that's okay, right? I don't mind that. I still like you, brother. But Assassino, tell the people who always hear your name on a daily basis, what kind of stocks are you liking these days?
I'm going to put you on the spot, man.
Oh, I can't hear him. What is he saying?
You're not saying anything.
He's speaking to the chat. He's speaking to the chat. Yeah. So say it again in my ear just so I know what you said. We got to get you in something, Assassino. Even if you buy the Qs, like the SPY, that is a good one, right? Yeah. Should we show him the chart?
Yeah, show him the chart.
I think we should show him the chart.
But zoom out on that.
We should show him the chart and zoom out simultaneously.
Monthly,
right, Joey? We should show him the monthly?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to do it just because Joey asked.
Yeah. Show him that.
Hold on. I love this.
Why is it taking so long?
I don't know, brother, because I'm slow. What do you want from my life, okay?
Photo.
This trade has unlimited upside.
This is the Qs.
You want to own that, Assassino?
Look at this.
What do you think about that one? Does that look good or
Yeah,
what?
and this doesn't even start from where it originally starts from. It just starts from 2007 in a random area, brother, right? And since that 2007 high, I said we're up 1,500%, right? So anybody tells you, look at real estate, you show them this chart. We're going to go up to Sia.
Sia's going to tell us her favorite 3 stocks as well, too, once we get back.
What was the question? I need to know.
What would the 3 stocks that you wanted?
She's got some picks.
I have 2 picks right now. I would say Bloom Energy and NVIDIA. But apart from that, I don't put my investments in individual stocks. It's more ETFs. Yeah. Anyways, let's take a look at small cap right now. The Russell currently up 0.34% on the day. So small caps are small cap US stocks specifically capping off their strongest first halves in decades. Russell 2000 index has surged more than 21% this year alone, which puts the index on its track for the best first half performance that it has had since the year 1991, long time ago. AMBA, Ambarella, individual tickers up next now, up 22.37% on the day. Just a couple of days ago, their VP Business Development has sold shares worth $660,000, so it's just continued momentum from then. BXMT, Blackstone Mortgage Trust, is down 3% on the day, almost maintained, outperformed by Keefe, Briette, and Woods. Just analyst commentary there. KYMR, Chimera Therapeutics, is up 7.24% on the day. Again, there's just analyst calls over here, maintained at buy by all the analysts from BofA Securities, Trust Securities, as well as B. Riley Securities. Sending it back to you.
Excellent report, Sia. Thank you very much for that. All right, stopped out of the last remaining amount here on LGCL. It didn't test 2, but it failed prior bar low. So I was worried that this was on the way down. But current bar high, just to give you an idea, so the 1220 bar is 222. We reclaim 222 and this bar goes green. I may get back into this one. I'm going to take smaller size, full disclosure, on the next entry on this one, but I will be interested in getting in. Now, I have to concern myself as well with INDI because it is coming into the 20 and I don't want to see this thing drop below the $0.25. So there we go. Let's throw in the order there for the last remaining amount on INDI. If that fails the $0.25, that means it fails the 20 moving average and that means I'm out. Simple as that. I'm also keeping a close eye here on GVH. Here, this one is making yet another attempt at $5. Now, I had a bit of a dalliance with this one. Initial trade was good. Then we took out everything at the top, dropped in here for a $5 add. It failed 5. Generally held, I want to say 480. You could see there was a 480 buyer here. That doesn't prevent this one from wicking down into 460 on a quick drop. But for the most part, you can see on the 1-minute chart, that 480 area had a buyer. And we moved back into 5, but that $5 area has been resistance. For the majority of the day, we did obviously price spike above it into 542, but really didn't hang out all that much at that level. So I'll keep my eye here on GVH, lest it make yet another bigger move. And for those who don't mind trading these more expensive, I don't want to call this a small cap gapper, but these names, these momentum names, let's call it that. OUST off 60.50, double bottom into 60.50, takes out neckline at around 61 4/5, going into 62, 62.50 just showed up, 63.79 the high of the day. So be on the lookout here, OUST trying to make moves as well, Joey. So we're going to keep a close eye on those. CELZ or Z for my American friends, bleeding its own blood. It is on the way down. It's lost 3, it's lost VWAP. And it's only finding a bit of reprieve here, right around 260, give or take, because of this area of consolidation. Let's see if it can hold that area. Otherwise, I'll have nothing to do with CELZ, Joseph Options.
All right, man. Good stuff. Yeah, it doesn't want to go, man. No demand higher here for this bad boy. Same mistake, right? You're buying this shelf. Now it's going to start to sell. Might have to flip the bias on this one as the Nasdaq and the spot. That's where it can. Why am I not trading the TQQs here today? If I didn't have any individual stocks, I think that's the narrative of what I'm going to go for the rest of the week. I know after today we have 2 trading sessions left, and I think there's going to be some good opportunities in between the Nasdaq and the SPY. So AMD looking pretty good, Tesla looking pretty good, SpaceX not too bad, starting to form a shelf. So what we do is we wait for an additional pullback here, ladies and gentlemen. Right, come back. Just have a nice clean ebb and flow, bounce off of the volume weighted average price, and then maybe you get that move into 174. So shout out to all of the levels that we've been grabbing up on this. I didn't think that we were going to get this curl over here, but once again, it doesn't really matter what I think. This is what the stock is displaying. But the volume is really starting to cool down, if you ask me, right? Like, look at this. It's stair-stepping down. And it fell in the rankings as per volume in the derivatives world. Okay, so this name was like, so it's SPY. SPY is always has the most amount of options volume. Then it's the Nasdaq. Then you either have Apple or NVDA. You'll see AMD on there as well too. IBIT can climb the ranks, and some of the more common and meme-ish names you'll see within that. SpaceX within the first week of its IPO was in the top 3 slots, which is an extreme rarity. Now, what I seen yesterday as I'm going through the options activity for you guys, it was on the lower end of things, and I'm talking only 1 million contracts completely open and closed throughout all of yesterday's session. So things starting to slowly cool off, and that can mean a good thing, right? Like volume and volatility cooling off, then hey, maybe you get some appreciation. But right now you're just doing what has happened to me, man. You're just stressing about something that you have no control over and clearly doesn't want to do anything. As I was doing my TA yesterday, I'm like, oh, okay, there's a couple of things aligning for us here that would suggest that we might find somewhat of a breakout, but it doesn't seem to be the narrative. And it's just such a weird thing to me. But hey, it is what it is, and we have to accept it and just remain forward looking. Let's take a look at the options chain, guys. We haven't done it too much here today. So what we will do is we'll pull up, we'll take a look at the Teslas, the SpaceXs, the NVDAs, the AMDs, the Nasdaq, and the SPYs of the world. Oh, I thought that said 400 there momentarily. But there is nothing, like, guys, we've seen so much more of a concentration risk before through multiple strike prices here in this specific underlying asset. Like, oops. Oh, no. Oh, did I do anything? Did I do anything there? Oh, okay, no. All right, so we're good. Yeah, I know, no, big time. 2 days till expiry, $200. Lots of size up there, but nothing that we've seen before. 64,000 contracts at that level, totally fine. Today, what do we have at $200? 18,000. But a lot of volume, 172,000 contracts open and closed. Now let's go over to its little broski, the one that's going to hit $1 trillion. I think sooner rather than later is AMD, $580. We're at 578 right now. Nothing crazy from an options standpoint, right? Like open interest and volume. Why? Because it's starting to get a little bit more expensive, guys, and you're going to see that reflected in some of the premium as well too. Now, as for Tesla and SpaceX, we'll go through those guys right now. Now, a $400 name expiring in 6 days. Nothing outstanding, and I'll just scroll through it. Like in the evening time, what I'll do is I'll just go through multiple expiration cycles and just look for heightened levels of open interest and be like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Let's see how the underlying start to react around, or if we're going to head towards those specific areas. Now, as for the 420 marker, typically has a lot of volume in it. 74,000 contracts open and closed on today's session, and they're going to be expiring tomorrow. 5,720 opened and still currently open, I should say. Now, as for SPX, let's take a look at this bad boy and see how SpaceX options activity has been performing. And then we'll head over to the Nasdaq and the SPY because they've been performing absolutely phenomenally. And it's great to see what the SPY and the Qs are doing without any really upward momentum in the largest market cap name in both of those indices. So $170, 10,800 contracts right there, guys. Not too bad. We were talking about this level not too long ago. That is, I mean, now in the water. So that's not too bad. You have those in ITM slightly by only a couple of pennies, and $4.80, a 10-cent spread. So you're not going to be running into any form of liquidity issues there, guys. Now, as for the Nasdaq, we could take a look at this to see if there's any outstanding open interest. We're always keeping an eye on our implied volatility as well, and how our gamma is going to react to specific strike prices, right? It's always going to be the greatest at the money. As you deviate from the at the money contracts, you will see the cooling in your gamma exposure. What we do have here is 7,500 contracts at that 737, no Boeing right there. 0 days to expiration, so those will be closing and expired and go to options heaven by the end of the day. 740, we have 13,000 contracts at that level as well too. So that's going to be the largest amount of open interest on these 0 DTEs.
Gavin, Have you done any analysis on your trade since the end of PDT rule? I do think it has changed the low float gappers. My perception would be yes, Gavin. But I've also seen, you know, these periods where the small caps have their sort of moment in the sun. The volume really does come in pretty aggressively to them. And it's almost cyclical, right? And I also want to point out the fact that there is that rotation that we've been speaking about. You know, the MAG hasn't been doing as well. The IWM was very, very strong. I think it was the best performing. Let me double check here. I don't think it shows me. The IWM is the best performing major average ETF on the year. It's up 22%. Next are the Qs, 19 3/4. So I think that there's that part of it as well, where we have to account for the cyclicality or the rotation, pardon me, not the cyclicality, into small caps. So to answer your question, yes and no, right? I've seen a bit of a difference, but I'm unsure how to attribute that difference, whether it's exclusively PDT removal or it has something to do with the cyclicality or the rotation. Airy Pages, get to your question in 1 second, but we got to send it up to Adair.
Keep an eye here, guys, on FJET here, FJET. This is Starfighter Space. Worth noting here, volume on this, not super significant, about 630,000 shares in the day, but tangential presidential related catalyst here for FJET. Coming from the White House Official Office of Science and Technology, they posted that President Trump is, quote, clearing the runway for supersonic flight. Apparently, he signed an EO today that will allow the U.S. Department of Transportation to propose new rules for noise limits instead of speed limits for next generation supersonic aircraft. What does this have to do with FJET? Well, apparently FJET, or Starfighters here, actually owns and operates the world's largest commercial supersonic air fleet. So they could benefit from this new executive order signed by the president. As you can see, there was a bit of a volume spike here and a price spike in FJET. Right now, cooling off. Again, not too much volume on the day, but FJET in focus here. Back to you.
That headline. Love that headline. I think it makes a lot of sense, especially because the reason that going supersonic over land was not allowed is because everybody's windows shattered, right? Because of the sonic booms. But there's new technology now that dampens the sonic booms. So if that can actually come into fruition, and I like how President Trump is looking at this, noise rather than speed, because the issue was the speed caused the noise. So if we can have the speed without the noise, I'm all about that life, man. Think about it, Joey. We had supersonic flight, commercial flight with the, what's it called? The Concorde, with British Airways and Air France. It was a joint venture between the two. They did in the 70s. It started operating, I think, until about early 2010s, 11 or 12, something like that. Yeah. And now we're like going on 26 and we're moving back. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I get the Concorde was super expensive to operate. It was limited and what could it do? It had tiny fuselage. So it was like 2 and 2 or 3 and 3 or whatever it was. But like, we should be moving past that. That's kind of how I view this. I think that that's important thing, man. And time is money, baby. I don't want to waste my time in an airplane, man. You know what I mean?
I mean, as least time as possible, for sure. I mean, but from a travel standpoint, it's not horribly inefficient.
The Tupolev, sorry, Ozan. I do know about the Tupolev. Wasn't that a copy, though, Ozan, of the Concorde? Because they looked exactly like one another. I do remember that. That was the Soviet response at the time. Man, Ozan knows exactly what's going on. I'd like to hear that. Jack of Art. What's going on, Jack of Art? What are you laughing at, bro? Come
Jack of Art, man. He loves Jesus.
I love you, Bash Brothers. We love you, man. What's going on?
And he loves Jesus too, which it makes we love
pretty
him.
Cool, man. I'm about that life.
There used to be this old camp song that we used to sing, and it would go like this. And I remember we'd be on canoe trips, like singing all of these gospel tracks, and it's like, and I love Jesus. All this
gospel music.
Yeah, man.
All right, Joey. I think we got to go up to C.
Let's do it, man.
Thank you so much for that. The SPY currently up very close to 1% at the moment. We're going to take a look at our sectors for today. So the electric tech leading with strength here. NVIDIA, Apple up. NVIDIA's up 1.4% on the day, followed by Apple, strong, 2.29% on the day. In electric tech, however, Apple had an iPhone 18 Pro supplier list and parts and photos that were leaked in a Tata India company data leak that was on the dark web. But we will discuss this further in the news segment at 1 p.m., so stay tuned for that. AMD up 7% on the day, followed by INTC up very close to 6.5% on the day. MU, AVGO on the green. We have GE, however, a little bit down on the day, very close to 1%. In tech services, we have Google, Microsoft up 1.24% and 0.60% respectively. Microsoft, however, Anthropic had announced that its Claude AI models are now generally available through Microsoft Foundry on Azure. So that's a little bit of news over there as well. However, we have Meta, Oracle, Netflix sliding into the red. Finance, however, we have a little bit of gray here in BRKB, JPM, Visa, GS, and WFC trading flat at the moment. Robinhood currently also in that sliding a bit into the red. MasterCard up 0.63% at the moment. Bank of America sliding into the red as well. Retail trade, Amazon is trading flat there. Walmart, Costco sliding into the red. TJX, HD trading flat. Producer manufacturing looks like a relatively strong sector today with AMAT, LRCX, and CAT leading the pack. AMAT is up 5.5%, LRCX up 4.4%, whereas CAT is up 3% on the day, followed by GEV up 4%. Consumer non-durables and health tech, super red over there, not liking that look. However, Medicare will be starting to cover covering obesity drugs. This is starting from tomorrow. Eligible beneficiaries will be able to get GLP-1s to treat obesity for a copay of just $50 a month. So with that, health tech is significantly in the red today. We said Lilly sliding down towards the 2% mark. J&J down 1%. We have consumer durables, Tesla doing a little bit good, up 1.25% on the day. Utilities is covered in gray, super flat at the moment. The only name that I can see that's in the red is CEG. Energy minerals also super flat. XOM flat. CVX down 0.52% on the day. Whereas process industries, industrial sectors, and health services also a bit of a mixed sentiment throughout these three sectors. However, in transport, I do want to call out Uber, down 3% on the day. We have Uber and Waymo that have ended their partnership in Phoenix. So there's a look again that we will be talking about in the news segment at 1 p.m. today. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned and sending it right back.
Yeah, Stevern, you got a point, brother. I mean, it did have an accident, but I don't think you should live and die by one incident. In the same way we don't live and die by the 747's mishaps, the 737, and all the other airplanes who have had issues, right? So we don't cancel the entire program, figure out what happened, and we rectify it, right? I think a lot of money was spent in that program just to sort of abandon it. And I think there was a bigger issue, I think, of operational inefficiency, to be honest with you, Stevern. I don't think they were making the money off it. I think demand started dropping as well because the routes were so limited, right? So that's my little take there. But I think that supersonic flight, if it can be a real thing and not shatter everybody's windows, because that's a real problem, especially flying over terrestrial areas, right? Over the ocean, it's no problem, obviously. But Blacklist dropping nice super there from TikTok. Why is US Tech 100 going up? Well, because the Qs are up 1.5%. You know, that's kind of how that works. The tech-heavy Qs kind of lead the way over here, and they're certainly the strongest moving average of the day, far and away. The second one is the SPY up 0.71. So, and it's really being led by semis. You can kind of take a quick look at this Assassino right over here. Semis, very, very few in the name of red in Redsville, and the ones that are red are not substantially red, whereas the ones that are green, you got a lot of high double digits over here. AMD, Joseph was pointing that out. Intel up 6 3/4, SMCI, AMAT as well. ASML up 4 1/3, knocking the door at $2,000 again on semi, up 5%. VRT, Randy gave me this name not long ago. This is looking good. This is a $126 billion market cap now. I mean, it's no small company, man. Cerebras continues to get clapped, down 1.4. STM Micro as well, getting clapped as well, 1.9. And AAOI, WDC as well, both negative on the day, Joey.
All right, TSL, I'm just laughing at something because I find. Here's Tesla, right? Like heading in towards the new high of the day. A nice little curl over right there, ladies and gentlemen. We removed another name. He's like you know who Voldemort is?
I've heard of. I don't know.
Yeah,
any of that.
we're not supposed to say his name, sure.
Why? Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Oh, my
speak
bad.
his name.
Good thing you said it.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
I'm playing.
I have 5 minutes. Tesla is I'm not even gonna say it anymore. The chip king is thy who we shall not speak of. Here is Tesla, a nice little curl over, looking like it wants to take an additional leg higher. SpaceX starting to pull back in. Anything south of this, I'm gonna be looking to get involved with it. I don't like anything, man. I'm not in love with anything at all. The Nasdaq, the TQQQs, the SPY. There's nothing that's really attractive to me.
You can go trade FCell, man. It's right
What's it
back
up
at the
to?
day's high, man. Right back into 37.5. I'm not trying to tell you what to trade, Joe.
But that's up there. I don't like buying all the I don't like buying right at the top.
Yeah, fair.
Joe Demort is crazy. Yeah, no, that's way too up there. Oh, nice little uptick there, Sharif, and that one's 6 cent spread in that. I don't like that spready stuff here, to be honest with you. Hey, I have no issues, man. I'll sit on our hands a little bit. I'm not going to be worried about it whatsoever. Yesterday, we didn't have a horrible day. Today, things are slower, and I'm down like about a third of what we were up yesterday. And if I don't see anything overly attractive, then there's no reason for me to force anything, right? I think that's something good that we should continuously preach and teach here on the show, is that you don't always have to be in a position if you don't see something. I think that's really important to know. Whales, dolphins, etc. don't like sonic booms over the ocean.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually interesting.
Yeah, I think
that's actually a very interesting point. I hadn't considered that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think
is that real though, or are you just mentioning things that are theoretical? Is this a real problem, like that somebody studied that the whales honestly were getting affected by it? Because obviously that is a problem. But I think also the ocean is so sparse, right? Especially the deep parts of the ocean. Life is very limited there.
Very.
Yeah, it's like usually in the corals, where the coral areas where you see a lot of
the smaller life. I mean, I see what you're saying, man, but I respect the ocean.
So do I, brother. And if this is an obvious issue,
I
then
respect life,
to be quite honest with you, if we do get the technology that limits the noise, it'll be okay on the ocean, just in the same way that it's okay over here and doesn't shatter your windows.
And you can fly up there.
Even if you're flying up there, Joe, that's the thing. If you're flying over the continent and you were going supersonic, you were creating sonic booms, and the sonic booms, it's not a guile or super weapon.
They travel,
bro, and they shatter windows. Right?
Crazy, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, FSL moving higher there. So is the SPY and the Nasdaq. Yeah, I hate it when we're just kind of in this no man's land area. It's just like annoying, and like it's like that mosquito over your ear when you're sleeping at night. It's just like you can't find it. You know what I'm talking about there, Sharif?
Yeah,
that's just how I feel right now, to be honest.
I feel you,
with
brother.
that saying, if you're slightly agitated, maybe it's just best that we don't really do too much right now. So American Airlines has a lot of volume here today. Look at this.
Taking American down.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight green days here for American Airlines. Sharif funding this rally here. This is looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Hey, watch out for AAPL, man. They the lady didn't even want to serve me beer.
What's going on?
They're a little stingy on there. They don't even give you like peanuts and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, you must have said something there.
I didn't say, bro, do you think I said something? I didn't even really say anything.
You got on her bad side,
yeah,
Joey.
well, yeah, hey, it is what it is, man. I'm sorry if I grind your gears. Look at Bitcoin, guys, heading towards, it looks like a new yearly low momentarily in the pre-market. I wouldn't be surprised if we head over there. Uncle Shreve, can you look at Oust for a swing? He's too busy right now.
Absolutely, let's go.
Yeah, he's an uncle.
All right, let's go. Show us, Cena. Let's do this.
This is what we're doing right
Little
now.
punk. You're about to get messed up, my boy. He's
You're Ryu, right?
Yeah.
All right. It's tied right now. But, bro, you got...
Hold on, bro.
I feel
Let's
like
go, my boy.
Oh. I feel like you got it on an easy difficulty.
I don't. I didn't change it at all. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. It's over for you. No. Yeah. Zangief, you little punk. Communism's dead.
Oh.
Let's go.
Damn, Madero was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, well, she doesn't know what Zangief is. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe she does. Let's go, man. Oh, Joey's. I got to get out of this. No. This is a problem, Joey. This is not good here, man. Here we go. Now we're going to Hadouken his ass. Let's go.
Oh.
No, he keeps doing that, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble here.
Uh-oh.
I'm in trouble, Joey.
Damn.
If I get the what's it called? The stars, I'm in trouble. Bah! 2-0. Who wants to take me on, man?
Bro.
Sweep the leg. Man, I'm trying to do the OU kit, but the double uppercut, but it's not letting me do it here at the moment. Who are we going to fight next, Joey? Zangief got messed up.
Turn up the difficulty, my guy.
My guy, I didn't change it. I swear to you. I'm keeping it as it is. We're going to India, Sia. Your boy Dalzum's going down. Let's go. Uga Fire. Uga Flame. Let's do this. Come on now. Yeah, he's trying to Uga Fire me here, Joey. He just got hit. I still can't. There we go. Now I'm doing it. There we go. Now I got it, Joey. I need to practice that again. No, man, I'm getting screwed up here. There we go. Let's go, Joe. Let's go, Joe. Oh, no. Dalzum's messing me up, man. You're screwed, Dalzum. I'm telling you, buddy, it's over for you, my man. And there. No, one more. Oh, no. Oh, no. Boom. 2-0. All right, let's end it here before Brendo gets on.
Brendo on
Well,
vacation.
wherever he is, bro. Who knows, right? There we go. Brendo must be on vacation. He's not. He's just not in the room at the moment. But
He got back a while ago.
he got back a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. All right, LGCL. So let's look at Casey's super chat there. Let's find out exactly what's going on with OUST because I did have that one on my side chart. So Casey wants to see it for a swing. Let's flip to the daily. It's a great breakout case, right above 50 bucks. Flat top break through that $50 area, bull flag initiation off that $27 to $25 area. That's a nice move up. You get the clearing of the 50. What's the setup on the weekly? So, yes, I think you asked me about this before because this is the huge rounded bottom, right? I was telling you this had to clear 50, and then now it's nicely above 50. So we've gotten above that April 22 area high through 50 bucks. Now 63.79 is the high of the day. What's the next very obvious area of resistance case? I would say you're looking at between a range of 75 to about 90. Take a look at this area right here, Case. This is what I'm looking at left of your screen. This is the weekly on OUST. Let's throw that ticker in the middle. So I think, whether you see it in a straight line or not, Case, I definitely like your chances of at least getting to 75, if not more. And quite frankly, if we get into that $90 area, my spidey sense tells me that, there might be that magnetic effect into that $100 area. I want to bring your attention, though, Case, to the fact that this did a 1-to-10 split back in April of 2023. So something to think about there if you're looking at the exact prices. But I like your chances of moving right back into that $75 to $100 area. And I think that I'm not saying anything is a foregone conclusion, of course, but is a great rounded bottom looking pattern. The thing though, Case, is if it ends up being a rounded bottom pattern, you always have that chance that you get the cup and handle. So if you do, then that means there has to be a period of consolidation sideways. Now, the $100 area may be where you consolidate, right? You move up into that 90, 95, and then you start ranging. So say 75 to the low, 100 to the high. You get that sideways movement, and then you get the move above 100. I hope you print up multiple storms on this one, Case. Let me know how it goes, and we're going up to see you.
Thank you so much. The Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey has said that the UK's inflation rate could rise potentially to 3.2% before it heads lower. So at the ECB in Portugal, Bailey has also said it's hugely frustrating that the Bank of England has not met its 2% target yet, with the latest annual inflation print that remains at 2.8% as of May. Also, Bank of England is considering a kill switch in AI to stop market meltdown. Let's also take a look at how the dollar is doing right now. Currently riding, I would say, a rather strong-ish wave, trading around 101.2 region right now. Seems to be driven by optimism over the U.S. economic growth and also the hawkish rate hike signals that have been coming in from the Fed. But that's all. The dollar currently up on the day, 0.09%. Sending it back to you.
Thanks for this.
Guys, LGCL is moving again, eh? Up into 245 is the high, Joey, but that we got to that 240 level last time. So I don't want to say this is a double top, but it's the same seller that we had on LGCL last time around. We took that 2 and a 240, and it's the same area of resistance. I'm looking for a decisive take of 250 here. Otherwise, I think we're going to have the same problem, that 240 seller coming in. So going to keep my eye out on this one, Joe.
All right, man. Good stuff, Joe. Wow. Good. Oh, man. All right, so let's head over to our watch list here, guys. I don't have anything going on, really, to be honest with you. It's just like the Nasdaq's moving. We have SpaceX. I know we have the same names up here. There's the SPY putting in a new high of the day. What do we have from a daily? Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Gaurav, I haven't seen you in the chat or Los Polios too much here, but a nice indecision print. And we talked about this being a key level, right? Like, let's see if we can head back towards this previous bit. Now we're only 1.7% off of the all-time highs. That can be evaporated in 2 days. No problemo, Assassino. Sia, what do you have for us?
Yeah, just a little bit of a red candle while continuing to slide a little bit on CMCSA Comcast, even though it's up on the day. There's a takeover note coming in from certain news reports saying that Netflix could turn NBC into its biggest bet yet. And the math actually works out. Leadership on Netflix is uniquely positioned to bring NBCUniversal into a new life stage. It's just coming from a couple of reports, and the stock seems to be reacting on that.
A good, nice, strong buy program here in goggles itself. So I really like the way that this one's looking. To be honest with you, you had that 16% pullback. Now, if you have a daily candle open up on the backside, which we almost do at this point, I mean, we can adjust our trend line a little bit here. Now we're running into it, but just with this path, I think this is a nice, clean, healthy pullback right there, guys. So I really like, again, I think out of all the stocks, we've gone through these polls, we've had everybody vote. If there's one thing that I wish I never sold and just continuously owned, because I had such an insane price on this thing. Man, oh man, I own Google. With Google?
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean that'd be like that's a changer, right? Like I've been in Google for a very, 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 very long time, and I sold it at the complete wrong time. All right, but that's that's it. Yeah, been there, done that. Probably not going to be it's definitely not the first time I've done it. Probably not going to be the last time I've done it. I'm going to do it. So get prepared for that stuff. You're going to make those types of mistakes. Robinhood actually falling into negativity here, guys. But what we've seen over the past couple of days has been phenomenal. Right? So not too bad of a look whatsoever. 101.27. You have a couple of days upticking to the top side. Now you're just having this inside breath. We're not going to complain with a previous pivot high, I should say, of around $112. You're down 10% off of that marker right there. We don't need to go over the crypto names because it's just blood in the water, and the sharks are feasting at this point. There's NASA, the NASA ETF, something that I bought over here at the top. I would suggest that you don't do that. Don't buy this all the way up here at the top, right? You want to get on the lower end of the range. So now, if you didn't know, now you know. You don't buy all the way up here, right? So hey, just learn from our mistakes. You know what your parents used to say, do as, I'm not going to say it. They say not as I do, but don't listen to what I am saying on that point. This is just me rambling on. But what is putting up some strength and heading towards a key pivot level is DoorDash, Sharif. DoorDash, just in case you didn't know, DoorDash heading all the way up to $188, down 34% off the all-time highs. Headline, International Maritime Organizations waiting for Iran's permission to resume traffic in the Strait of Hormuz. Al Jazeera.
I don't like that. Permission.
Yeah.
It's an international waterway. RZLV.
Well, they don't want to get hit. They obviously.
I'm not blaming the ships, Joey. I just don't like this.
Yeah,
like,
no, I don't like it.
Not, like. Anyway. It is what it is. It is what it is. RZLV is breaking out, guys. 299 high, showing 96. I'm trying to keep an eye here on LGCL. Taking some prints here on this one. Looking for a dip into the 10 EMA, but I am alive to the fact that there's a 240 seller. So that is the issue with that one. But I want to look at this for Arun Warrior, 2004.
My boy.
My man. He's like, look at BFLY for me. Great hold here, BFLY of $1. You could see that they were obviously, alive to the fact that they could get that letter from the exchange. I like a lot about this, Arun. You're above this area. You're right at this area, this 890 area. That's a double top that takes you back to August of 2022. I remember that. That was Jackson Hole, and Papa Powell ruined the market. at that time. And then we sold off for the rest of 2022, and then we all know what we did in 23 with NVIDIA leading the way, this, that, and the other. But if you can get above, I think, this area decisively, well, you're also looking at that $10 resistance as well. Look at that flat top break from these lower highs here, Arun. Area high, lower high, lower high, $10 area resistance, or sorry, support, gives way, pops back, right? So I do like this area. I like this area a lot. Now, was this a SPAC, Arun, prior to de-SPACing? Because this was hugging 10 over here before the big move up. So something makes me feel like this one was a possible SPAC at this level. Let me know, because I don't have the time to look right now. But a clearing of 10, that's the most decisive thing I think that this stock could do. BFLY is the ticker. BFLY, of course, is Butterfly Network, $2.2 billion market cap. They're a digital health business offering care through a combination of portable, semiconductor-based ultrasound technology, intuitive software services, and educational offerings. Goes on to say, but what I do like there is that $10 level. If it clears, I think you've got something here. Keep your eye on that. Shout out to my man, Arun the Warrior. All right. All right. People are jokes, man.
What are they saying, man?
Like, do I need permission to get into my pool? Because we were talking about the straight, right? And like, you can't even pass a straight unless Iran authorizes it, which is just infuriating in of itself. But that's a look. So add it into LGCL at the 10. Looking for this to hold too.
Good stuff, man. Thanks for that information there, Jack of Art. Where's Mike P. the Rider today? I think you two would get along very well, just from what I've noticed from you over the past couple of days. But yeah, let's head back over to our watch list, guys, and our scanners and see what we got cooking up on those fronts. Here's the small cap scanner. I haven't seen Sharif, or I haven't heard Sharif, I should say, mention anything. There's sells below the volume weighted average price. We'll just go from the top volume all the way down to where we stop seeing those million shares traded on the intraday session. Here's GEM below VWAP. Nothing crazy. This is surprising, man. Yeah, there's not very much here today. Luke
Casey's
is
saying CUPR if you want to look at that.
I know you've been trading that one here through.
Have I?
I think you traded it here today. Oh, it's going Casey. What?
Yeah.
Casey, what's up with the timing of this? We need this a couple of minutes ago. As is like, oh my God.
It's ripping, Joey.
My girl, CUPR. Let's pull this bad boy up. I like the look of this.
Get it, Case.
We'll see if we can get some form of a pullback there. Now, 8 schmackers at this point, Sharif. I need this at 764, okay? Not at 808, Casey. So let me know at the break of the high of the day. Does that sound good to you? No, I'm obviously totally playing. Thanks for pointing this one out here, guys.
She called it before, bro.
She did?
Called it,
I know,
she just said she called it.
I just got distracted from all the V12 talk that she had going on there.
Hold on, what did she ever answer the V12 question? Because I didn't get to see it.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Casey, we want to know what that V12 was, and in addition to that, Case, we want to know what the new whip is. Because we were told that you were bored one day, and so you decided to flex and get a new whip.
You could get Kansas City.
Hey?
Is that where she's from? She lives in LA.
No, she lives in New York.
Oh, New York.
The New York gal.
Like the waves
If you're lucky, I'm feeling generous. There it goes, man. There goes CUPR, man. This thing's really starting to, I got to wait for the pullback. I'm going to get involved in this here, Sharif.
Okay,
Let's see, man, we might as well. But we're going to need this pullback. This momentum's really, really starting to pick up here. With that being said, you get the pullback, the retest of 780, and any form of a curl around. Then we're going to be looking to get involved in this bad boy. So thanks for pointing this one out.
Okay.
Around the right time. LGCL not doing too much either. So, yeah, it's definitely been a cooler one, I believe, for Sharif and I this morning, or this afternoon, whatever you would like to call it, regardless or regarding where you are. But things can always turn around. A couple of news headlines. It's kind of quiet now. You're not getting the headlines between too much oil trades and all of this stuff like here, like that. So, hey, it's either you hate it or you love it or you...
Or you're on top?
Yeah, or you're on top, man.
Shout out to the game.
What's up? What's the score?
Oh no!
I see.
Great call. Great call, because the game is starting now.
I see.
It's your friends. Do you know who's playing?
No.
Which is your favorite?
Oh, the
team?
Norway, man.
Hey.
The Norway. What's up with your boy Holland, man? I always see that guy doing some weird stuff.
Well,
like
he's definitely not my boy, because he's a City striker, and you know how we feel about City, Joe.
Okay.
Right? We can't be good to people from City.
Oh, okay.
But what's wrong with him?
No, he's just always doing weird stuff.
Oh, he is a weird guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely a weird guy.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
He's also really good.
Yeah, extremely
Right?
good. Man.
So
The way he runs and stuff is like,
yeah.
why does he do that? Yeah.
Lumbers along the field, but he's a monster. Number one, he's
Huge.
tall. Number one, he's fat. Number two, he's fast. And he can shoot, man. He can head. He can do everything. So shout out to Erling Haaland. I think, can I say something to you, though? He used to play, I think, in Netherlands, and then he went to Dortmund, right? And I thought so little of this guy because I saw him in the, I think it was the Europa League or the Champions League before he became big in Dortmund, because that's where he started making his name.
Okay.
And I was like, this guy is not that good. And then City spend everything to go and get him. I'm like, good. City spent money the wrong way, and boy, was I wrong about that.
Who are they playing today? Cote d'Ivoire?
Yeah, I know, Assassino. I completely got that one wrong. I forget. Let's
It
find
looks
out.
like that.
Let's find out. I can't quite see because.
Yeah, Cote d'Ivoire, man.
It's Cote d'Ivoire?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cote d'Ivoire. Yeah, Norway, Cote d'Ivoire. Norway is the favorite here. Cote d'Ivoire, not the favorite. Continuing to watch LGCL, looking for a bigger move up. Just took a print there at 15s, but I would love a $0.25 retracement here to kind of hold the 10 EMA and accumulate possibly for a break through the $0.5. Gavin Ross, look him up sticking out his neck after a game. It's hilarious. Dude, he is hilarious as an individual. He does weird stuff, but I think he knows that and he doesn't care, right? He's also quite confident now. He was never like this, eh? He's really growing in confidence, in arrogance, one could even call it. Kind of like Mbappe a little bit. Mbappe was like, always looking up to Ronaldo when he was younger, and now they call him the general because he runs things. So
That's like Ibrahimovic, man. That guy's mad
he was just always
confident.
confident.
Yeah.
It was always that
Super,
way.
super confident.
Ozan, he played in Austria, not Holland. That's it. In Red Bull, that's it. Exactly. Because I think it was Europa League. Good call, Ozan. Not the favorite had me. Yeah, come on, man. They took the Prem from us a couple of years there, so there's no way I have love for him. And we all know about the tie-up between him and Gabby, right? Gabriel Magallanes, of course, I'm talking about, and how, he threw the ball at his head, and he had that little spiel, stay humble, etc. So I was very pleased that he was humbled this year, because certainly wasn't Arsenal this year getting humbled. All right, game is on, 1 minute deep. Let's go. Who are you cheering for here, Joey? You got Norway?
Yeah, no,
You got Norway.
We got Row. We're involved in here.
Adara likes Norway. Sia likes Norway. Joey likes Norway.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to go. I'm going Cote d'Ivoire with you, Assassino. Juan's got Cote d'Ivoire as well, so it's 3-on-3
All right, nothing
up in this bad boy. Let's see who ends up
I
winning.
know it was against Cote d'Ivoire. Of course, Cote d'Ivoire. Sorry.
All right. Cote d'Ivoire. Shout out. Do you know Didier Drogba?
Bro, what do you mean, do I know Didier Drogba?
So you know him?
Yeah.
So he's from Cote d'Ivoire.
Is he?
Well, yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Great player, man.
Give us a poll, says Ozan. Well, I can't right now, Ozan. Norway or the highway, says. We like
that's a
that
good
one. What am I in here? CUPR 769. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a move here, guys. We got the turnaround. We're holding up on the previous pivot highs. Let's see if the momentum and the volume can really start to uptick my guy over here, Sharif. I don't think we're going to get the break of the previous pivot without a couple more liquidity grabs, but if we get some momentum stepping in, then I'll be okay with that. Just a little chip in a chair and a little tester. I mean, like, we put on half a risk in it on this bad boy, so it's nothing like crazy or anything to write home about, but we know how the volatility can most definitely play in some of these smaller cap names. It can drop really quick against us.
Don't go outside. It's
Yeah,
bad,
Katina,
eh?
man, you look warm out there, my guy.
Yeah, man, of course.
Did I
bro.
tell you about that one time a couple years ago during that heat wave, and I was the only dude out on the calisthenics
Good
gym?
for you, man.
And then CNBC or CBC interviewed me.
No,
or City
what?
TV.
That's sick.
Yeah, because I was the only
Was
guy
this
out there.
during the pandemic?
No, it was just like
Okay.
during a heat wave on the weekend, and no one was outside, and I was the only
That's
dude.
crazy.
And they came up and they're like, "Hey, man, what are you doing out here?"
Let
And
me
I'm just
ask you an
like,
honest
yeah.
question, man,
Yeah.
because I feel like I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask
Yeah.
anyway. Do you feel like your output diminishes during humidity?
Yeah, of course.
physically?
You move slower, man.
Thank
you got to move a lot
Because
slower.
I was having
like,
trouble in the gym today, even though it was air conditioned.
why do you think Caribbean
It was
country-
lumbering
Why do you think
through, man.
Why do you think Caribbean culture is just like so slow? It's always just hot, and like if you
That's
move
what I
you don't
wanna
want to expend too much energy, so it's just like
I don't
everything
know,
is significantly slower.
It's ripping, Katina, man. We don't know why, really. CF
Yeah,
brought us a
City
headline
TV.
about some payment system, but I feel like this might be just a 290 rejection. We'll have to wait and see. Didn't you bring us a headline regarding Apple and payment? Something like that?
This isn't working.
American Express. Yeah, go ahead, CF.
Apple Pay will be allowing American Express points to start paying. So yeah.
I've been handed the sticky note, and implicitly, I'm going to read the area. Katina Man wrote on the sticky note this morning, 283 Apple long. Watch the market, but the key level yesterday should break out, and let's take it back. We have the support near 280. Excellent call.
There we go,
man.
Katina. There we go, Katina, man.
Your Norway fans are doing their little chant there. I think you might like this.
Bro.
Yeah,
They
I know
doing
you're in
the
a
row,
position
man.
here, man. But yeah, your Norway fans really going there. All right.
Thanks.
Let's. It is 4 1/3 minute deep here into the game, guys. Keeping an eye here on LGCL. We're 4 pennies out of the money. It's coming into that $2 area. It looks like it's going to bleed its own blood. Let's watch for a break of 2. A break of 2 gets me out of this trade. Is there a buyer? There is, but they're getting eaten up over here. Does it pop back up? No, this feels like it's going to fail, man. I have my out below this area right here. So this is the area low. I'm just going to let it trigger. Let's see if it holds up. No, it's not. LGCL headed back to the volume weighted average price, or so it feels like. But CUPR still continuing to do well, so keep your eye out on that. LGCL right back into $2. But let's load up CUPR. On this trading screen, 778 currently showing 826 high. Prior bar low on CUPR is right around 743, pardon me, currently showing 775. So not a bad look at all. Could give it to prior bar low, right below 740 over here. Let's give this one the old community college try, and we're going to put it at 738, 730. This one's ripping up already on CUPR into 91.
Oh, you're
when
in
we
it
have
too,
85.
my guy.
Yeah, I just got in right now. Looking for an 8 breach here, Joey. I'm going to give it to about 840.
So I'm looking for
740, pardon me, because I feel like that's the area low, so I might as well give it to around there, and then we're going to keep an eye on this one, see how this cookie crumbles, my guy. What do you got?
Same thing, man. I'm in from 69s. It popped up into 794, but then started to come back in a little bit here. So we'll keep it on. Great call out there, Casey. Thank you very much for this one. But we're just continuing to navigate. As long as we don't break down too aggressively, then I'm going to try to hold this for a break of this level. It's been pretty quiet in some of these small cap names for me personally. So we'll try to ride this wave as long as we possibly can. If we do happen to get that curl over when we break through the low, then we just get out of Dodge and see if there's going to be any possibility of re-entering this trade. Okay, I think it's literally that simple, and that's how we're going to manage this position. I was thinking about taking a little bit off right here, but hey, I'm trying to make this win as big as possible and hold on to it for as long as I can. Man, there goes Tesla, okay? There goes Tesla right towards a new high of the day. NVDA has been choppy. SpaceX, yes,
What happened,
SpaceX
Joey?
is doing exactly what I wanted to do. Gorev, Los Polios, I haven't seen you, but check out the 5-minute Gorev. I'm trying to tag you. Gorev, let me know if you're looking at SpaceX on the 5-minute, still holding on to CUPR. We have AMD around the high of the day. Q's putting in a new one, and SPY. We're only 1 3/4% off of the all-time high in the SPY. We're probably a little bit more off of the Nasdaq. I would say closer to 2%, but in the bigger picture, it's such small potatoes, man. I can't believe this is going to be the potentially 1 1/5% off the all-time high. That can be gone in a pre-market gap up. I know we don't really count that, but after the open, I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow or by the end of the week, leading into the 4th of July long weekend, that we see another all-time high this year in the overall market. There it goes, Sharif. We're going to add on this bad boy.
I'm with you.
Let's see if we can get this rock and roll, because we're
Breach
now
of
in the
prior
money.
bar high, Joey. Breach of prior bar
No
high,
follow
but no
through.
continuation
Yeah, no
through
follow
8.
through on that one.
Be alive to where the sellers are stepping in. Is the repeat
me.
area? Is there a repeat offender area here on CUPR that keeps coming in and keeps rejecting? I'm seeing mid to low 90s. I don't know how you feel about that, Joey. I know you've been watching this longer than I have, so I'd love your input on this. But into 94, looking for more, Joseph. Looking for a move into 8 and a decisive clearing of 8. It's not good enough just to get into 8. And quite frankly, I personally, I'm just speaking for myself here, I wouldn't add above 8 until we've cleared 8 decisively, because then I could have the bias that we're going to 10, especially if this one starts getting parabolic. But anything below The 740 area gets me out of the trade. So we're going to keep a close eye on this one. Shout out to Fluffy. My trainer was this huge guy. I rolled my eyes and maybe hated a little at the moment, but when we were done, we would go and have chicken, fried steak, LOL, good times. Love to hear that. Good for you, though. But and the thing is, though, like, and I think you and I are going back and forth about this, Fluffy. To me, I just don't thrive physically in the humidity, right? I find it.
Okay, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm watching. I'm looking for a 740 drop. It's going to have to lose 740 for me to get out because 740 for me is the area resistance. But I completely understand what you're looking at there. I'm seeing a range here, Joseph, options, despite the fact that we are putting in a lower high. So below 740 gets me out of the trade. What are you seeing?
Good stuff. I'm out of it, man. It faked me out because I added for the break here. The momentum didn't pick up and no follow through. So when I double up my position, I just have to get out here. So we take a little bit of a loss on this bad boy. Man, Joy Options Fan Club, you got to understand everybody is the star of this show, not just one individual. It's the
Get it, Joey.
It's the grouping of every single individual and the unique tools that everyone brings to this show is what really, really makes it as strong as what it is. Now, as for the Nasdaq, we talked about that. Tesla at the high of the day. Gorb, I was looking at and Los Pollos. I seen you mention up, you tagged me up there in the chat. This was starting to form a hammer candle, but now we're bouncing off a VWAP almost. I'll let it sell off a little bit so the momentum to the south side cools off, and then maybe we get some form of a curl over. But again, man, I dug myself a hole on this CUPR. Sold off here, the tape. We want to see more of a momentum style play, and that's not what we got. So, hey, it is what it is. You try to make that trade for that break, and it just didn't happen the way that we were expecting it to play out. With that being said, let's head over.
Should we start the news soon,
Yeah,
Joe,
I mean,
or what,
sure, man? We could always do whatever, man. It's the world is our oyster, Sharif.
Oh, I like that. Well, let's check with Sia. Are we good to go?
I'm sure she's ready over there.
Always.
Look at Google.
Love it.
Katina Man, 357 on our friend Goggles. As that's, I will dig you out, Joe.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay. No, Joe, thanks, Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck also stated that, which made me laugh, and I still laugh about it, during this whole conflict. And we're like, hey, what's Donald Trump's next move? Well, everybody's saying, hey, he's going to take over Canada, Greenland, whatever. Ben Affleck proceeded to say, by the end of the week, Trader TV Live, it's going to be American territory, which I found comical.
Brother, I just want to say something.
Yeah,
that stuff doesn't bother me.
No, it was funny.
No,
It was a
I'm
joke.
not talking about.
Yeah,
but it really does bother Canadians. It really does bother them.
Yeah, no,
they don't like that at all.
I found it funny. Yeah, a lot of them don't.
Yeah.
Don't be rude.
Yeah.
Don't be rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I found it.
They're super sensitive about that around here, and it has been that way since President Trump was elected. So, it's just the way it is up here. All right, like if we're threatening your sovereignty as well, you probably wouldn't like it.
Range. Yeah. What if we said, yeah, by the end of the week, wherever you are, Ben Affleck is going to be Canadian territory.
Ooh, okay. Well, that one's interesting as well. Let's head on up to Sia and see what the first topic is.
Blame the bad guy thing.
Thank you so much. We're talking about AVAV and how it surged past its earnings. So AVAV shares had skyrocketed 21% after the company had easily blown past Wall Street's expectations and fourth quarter fiscal estimates. The stock currently, however, is up 16.5% on the day, but they've also benefited from the plans from the United States to modernize the military and secure space. AVAV has more tthan doubled its revenue from a year ago, so to $642 million, while the funded backlog has jumped 65% to $1.2 billion. The revenue for autonomous systems has totaled to $492 million, surpassing the $402 million that Street Account was expecting. CEO of the company, Wahid Nawabi, has also told analysts in the earnings call yesterday the company is scaling manufacturing to keep pace with unprecedented demand, and the company's growth opportunity has never, quote, never been stronger. Other drone stocks have also rallied as a response. Kratos KTOS was up 5.5% on the day as well.
This is a really interesting report. There's a lot good in this, but I also want to mention, some concerns. So let's talk about the stuff that Sia mentioned. Great top line beat. They beat on EPS. The forward guide was a little light on EPS. That's fine. But there is concerns here with spending, right? So They had good non-GAAP EPS, but their GAAP EPS is bad. They lost $265 million for the full fiscal year, and that was driven by a $240 million goodwill impairment charge because the U.S. government completely terminated their high-value, it's called a SCAR program, Streamlined Contract Awards. It's a Defense Department program. They canceled that. And that also had a more of corollary effect as well. So management heavily emphasized that it had a 1.2 billion funded backlog. What they didn't say was they had to remove $1.5 billion, so more than the 1.2 they got, in previously reported unfunded backlog from its books because of the cancellation of the SCAR program. So, you know, the Defense Department is obviously trying to find a local champion for drones. I think that this is a good maneuver on their part, given where war is going. But right now, the fundamentals are still a little bit tight. And I think we really need to keep the eye on that. And obviously, there's an insatiable demand for drones at the moment, given what we're seeing in Ukraine, in the Middle East as well. And so all these drone makers are forced to increase capacity. Increasing capacity typically means they have to spend more money on CapEx, and that's exactly what's happening here. They're tripling their CapEx spend to between 12 to 14% of, I think, full year revenue, whereas before it was something like a 5% baseline. So definitely looking at spending more, which comes with risk, but no risk, no worry.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's see what we got going on here. I mean, I was talking about, actually, we were just talking about not too long ago. Sorry, my train of thought was swayed. But I mean, listen, there was a light guidance within this name specifically. So you're going to see with that gap up start to slowly be filled. But then there was a government contract that was recently canceled to deliver phased array. So that's not too good of a look there.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, hey man, it is what it is. And then also declining revenues coming from, or delays from, Ukraine as well. So some of these defense names not looking too good. We had AVAV up here. AVAV. And see what we have. Like, this is just not a name that I would personally want to own if you're going to lose the half of your value, more than that 60% to the downside. So like guidance, you're going to see stocks get hit.
Can I ask you a question? Are you interested in any of these drone makers? Like, you don't think this is going to be a huge area, just like what we're seeing?
It can be, for sure. But
it can be. Like, look what's happening right now, man. Yeah, I know. I think it moved up, though, on exuberance, and I think it's coming down to more of a realistic level. What's the market cap on this one, right? Can you
on
check?
on AV,
I'll check. AVAV. I got the Fundamentals Explorer right here. 8.3 billion. Okay. Yeah. So that's right around what Joby is, right? Joby's around that, I think, 8.8 for Joby, 8.3 for them. Yeah, I think that's kind of where we're settling here, Joey, to be honest with you. But I feel like this is definitely the future.
I think commercial drones might be more or less the play.
Yeah, but I think they got the capacity to probably make both, no?
I don't know enough about the company.
I don't know. I just feel like this is the spot. I don't know. I'd love to hear what you guys think, chat, man. Like, do you guys think that the drone play is the real deal? Should you be looking to get into a drone name, given obviously how warfare is sort of turning out to be as we see it? I'd love to get some of your input there, guys. What about AVEX, drone company up 21%, says Dean, 5376. Let's take a quick look at that, Joe. Good call. AVEX, so not AVAV, AVEX, yeah? Up bigly, $2.5 billion market cap, not even a small cap gapper, up 22.6%. Not much in the way of volume on the day, but this is fantastic. Right here, flat top breakthrough 275, good look. Can't hate on this. This is AVEX.
What's the
you want to see the daily? Yeah, I figured you'd want to see this. Yeah, it's kind of like a lot of them. That's a weekly, sorry, that's a weekly. I threw on the weekly. You want to see the daily, it's kind of the same look, but go ahead, Adair.
They have their own catalyst this morning, too. That's
Pardon me?
To say here. They have their own catalyst.
They have their own catalyst.
Yeah, $50 million U.S. Air Force contract for advanced unnamed mission capabilities. The second you mentioned the ticker, I kind of thought of it, so I brought that up. But yeah, so there is its own story here beyond AAPL.
Got it. Yeah, thank you for that information. Good information there, guys. Yeah, but, you know, just generally, I want to hear what you guys have to say. Yes, new defense tech. No, drones clones, okay?
No, drone,
I'm just looking for specifically drone, Ukraine spanking Russia with drones. Look, I've seen what they've done to the refineries lately. It's just hard to down these drones, man. And moreover, the cost per drone is just cheaper than shooting down the drone with these missiles. And from what I'm seeing, the missiles miss a lot. Like their accuracy is not that good. American and Russian, like we saw what happened, you know, when the initial wave of drones was coming in, I think into some of the Gulf countries who were getting hit. Like I don't know what the hit ratio is, obviously, I don't have the data, but anecdotally, just, I feel like there's another move here, and it's probably laser or something like that. But anyway, man, what do you got? Let's go, sorry, you already gave yours. Let's go back to Sia.
Let's talk about the Medicare news that I did break earlier during the sector watch, but we're just going to dive a bit deeper into it today. Sorry about that. So millions of older Americans in Medicare are about to receive a benefit that in the sector has never existed before. So what is it? It's the coverage of obesity drugs. Starting tomorrow, eligible beneficiaries will be able to get the GLP-1s to treat obesity for a pay of just $50 per month. So this move can potentially unlock a vast new patient population for Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly, and dramatically expand access to medications that have been out of reach for many people that are ages 65 and above. So Medicare Part D, which means prescription drug plans, have already covered some of the GLP-1s for conditions like diabetes and cardiovascular disease. And at the same time, important thing to consider, however, is that the federal law has banned coverage solely for obesity. So now Chris Klomp, who is the director of Medicare and deputy administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, has said that there have been more than 69 million beneficiaries in Medicare about a week ago, and also several million are expected to access the drugs through the Medicare Bridge program. So there are also many more patients to capture here. Roughly 15 million to 20 million older adults in Medicare are estimated to qualify for these weight loss drugs. This is according to reports coming in from Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly.
All right, I'm just checking what the BMI is, because I remember reading this morning that you had to have a certain body mass index to qualify for this. I'm just checking. Pardon me, Katina Man? Yeah, Katina Man read it as well. So good call there. Yes, you're absolutely right, Katina Man. BMI of 27 or higher, you qualify. You have at least one of these conditions. You got to have either pre-diabetes, a history of heart attack or stroke, or symptomatic peripheral artery disease. If you have a BMI of 30 or higher, you qualify if you have one of these conditions: heart failure, uncontrolled hypertension, or chronic kidney disease. If you have a BMI of 35 or higher, you qualify automatically. No other health conditions required. Okay, got to stop out of that. That's not the right trade there, so we'll go negative on that. All right, so that's the way it is. So I do like this $50 a month copay. If we can just zoom in on this, $50 a month copay. That's substantially less than what we were seeing in the private markets. Remember, guys, we were talking about $300 and $400 a month, albeit for the brand name versions. I think that this probably will be generic. Wegovy's injectable and oral are going to be available. Lilly's Zepbound and Foundayo are also included. Do you think that this approach that President Trump is taking with the most favored nation price, including kind of these GLP-1s, is the right move here? Or do you think it's going to have a cooling effect on the R&D? Because, like, think about this, right? Here's what was happening, man, at least the way I saw it. They were rinsing Americans. They were charging Americans the highest price in, like, the developed world. And they were using all the money because it was unregulated. And they were using that money for their R&D. And then they would come to Canada, they would go to Europe, and they charge far, far less. So they wouldn't make as much money on those countries. But somebody had to fund it so that their R&D could continue to develop. Or do you think their R&D also gets cut because of AI?
Yeah, I mean, it becomes more efficient, right? Like, you can become more efficient. I think at the end of the day, you're asking who does it benefit? Well, it's obviously not good for the companies producing the drug. It just chews right into their margins, right? Like, they're not going to be able to be overly profitable to the point where you're, for the physical product in itself, you're having these like 70-80% margins. But who's it also good for? The individuals who may start to struggle with, who are struggling with weight loss. So I think there's two sides to that coin. You get the Bridge program for $50 a month, which is significantly cheaper. You get Zepbound, you get Fundeo as well. So I mean, it's pretty good for the American consumer. I'm not going to complain about it. Like you know what I mean? It's really it's really good for them. And we also seen what it did to some of the other names as well too, Sharif, like the Coca-Colas and the Pepsis of the world, where they needed to pivot because people are starting to, and I don't know if it's the #1 cause or people just in general trying to live a more healthy lifestyle.
I think so.
But those major corporations had to pivot their strategy and start to come with healthier alternatives because more and more people were trying to adopt that healthy lifestyle, which I think is the right thing to do anyways. But yeah, I mean, margins is the big thing. Bridge program for $50 a month. I think it's good for the average human.
Good call. Chris Arthur, I don't know what my BMI is, brother. I don't look at BMI. I haven't been a fan of BMI as a standardized unit of measure for health for like a long time, but I know doctors continue to use it. Clearly they're using it here. Again, because it doesn't take into consideration your muscle percentage versus fat percentage. So I've always felt it was inadequate as a unit of measure, but that's just my opinion. But in any event, right, that's kind of the way it is. But to answer your question, I have no idea what my BMI is. Let's send it back to Sia.
Let's talk about Apple. The iPhone 18 Pro supplier list and parts that leaked, again, mentioned earlier, but let's dive a little bit deeper as to what was going on here. Sensitive components, suppliers, and photos of Apple's upcoming iPhone 18 Pro models are part of files that were posted on the dark web by the ransomware group that stole data from Apple's Indian supplier, Tata Electronics. So it can potentially also upset Apple and its relationship with Tata because most of these supplier arrangements are fiercely very protected by Apple. Could also hand certain rivals, counterfeits, and its own vendors a view of who makes what. So Tata suppliers both the parts, Tata, my apologies, supplies both these parts as well as assembles iPhones as a contract manufacturer. And it's emerging as one of Apple's most important manufacturing partners. This is outside of China. And Apple is reportedly on track to release its iPhone 18 Pro, as we do know it, and Pro Max this September of 2026. So this news comes at, I would say, a rather difficult time for Apple, because last week we also heard that it will be hiking up its prices for iPad and MacBook due to the soaring memory and storage chip costs. Analysts are also expecting Apple to increase the iPhone prices in the coming months. So Tata Electronics' leak of more than 200,000 files on the dark web by World Leaks had files with competent design papers of older iPhones and some parts also of Tesla, who are both clients of Tata Electronics in India. It's also included documents of Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing, also Qualcomm, which makes both of which make parts that are used in iPhones.
Yeah, you hit it right on the nose, see, and that's the problem here. The data that breached showed exactly Apple's fragility and strengths, and that is information you better believe their competitors are salivating over. Fragile single source vendor versus multi-supplier hedge. So they know the parts that Apple only has one source for. So think about that. You know, you could try to maneuver in a way where you get that output rather than Apple to kind of put pressure on them, right? Whereas if you have a multi-sources for a certain part, you're less likely to be affected by somebody else coming in and trying to challenge you for that. So this is great information for Apple's competitors. You mentioned 200,000 files, Sia. It's about 630 gigabytes is what was stolen here. Completely compromised, highly sensitive blueprints, drop test photos, proprietary specs, unreleased iPhone 18 Pro information. This is a bit of trouble, but this World Leaks kind of hacking agency is just a repackaged version of Hunter's International ransomware group. They kind of rebranded themselves. And rather than kind of deploying network-wide encryption, the halt network-wide encryption, they've taken a bit of a different approach this time. They left operations for Tata's plant untouched, so they weren't looking to disrupt that. They were looking at stealing information. But this exact story, Sia and Joe and everybody else, is exactly what the Chinese lobbyists love, because they want to point to Apple and they want to say, you made a mistake by leaving 26% of your iPhone capacity to the Indians. You got to come back to China. where we don't leak stuff. That's what they're going to say. That's what the lobbyists are going to do, right? And so this poses a bit of a problem for Apple. This is a big shift in production for them. And it's not one they took willingly either. We know why they did this. It's because President Trump put a lot of pressure on Team EC to friendshore the supply chain. And India is, of course, a friend of the United States. Although, you know, sometimes, right, they have their independence, of course, Russian oil and other things. We know about that. But this is a major problem, man, especially this is the first year Apple really goes gung-ho with Indian production of the iPhone,
we're shifting its supply chain into India. Yeah, I think what you hit that nail on the head as well too, Strafe. So it causes a little bit of a problem, and some questions start to be raised. I'm like, hey, what are we actually doing here? But Tim Cook, this is Tim Cook's doing though. At the end of the day, right? He had to strategically shift the supply chain out of China and try to onshore as much as possible. And this is one of the consequences of maybe of what happened. And you're still in the infancy in the partnership, and it's not a good start. That's for sure.
And look at this.
Right.
This is not an isolated incident either. Listen to this. So apparently, in May of 25. Assembly specifications for Tesla's updated Model 3 and Model Y platforms alongside sensitive internal documentation belonging to Taiwan frickin' Semiconductor and Qualcomm were also compromised at that exact same facility. So this has happened before to Tata. Like Tata, huge company, very successful company, obviously. But, you know, when you're dealing with this kind of stuff, you definitely got to put your foot down.
I wonder what kind of liability they have there. Like, what happens?
Great question, brother.
From a contractual standpoint, like, hey, if you leak some of our most important information, there has to be some form of consequence.
I see what you're saying.
On the other end of things, right?
But that's a one-off payment, Joey. What happens when your competitors have a better insight in how do you operate? How do you
Well, that's the thing, right? So, like, if you're placing this stuff on the dark web, I underget it, but who would be purchasing this information? I could probably tell you a company.
The companies.
I could tell you one right now.
Go ahead, Sia.
So even if you look at India's expectations of what it's going to make with this iPhone, Apple revenue, it's expected to make 26%, which is like not too big, but it is still pretty relevant of global iPhone production just this year alone. So that's how much it's anticipated to make, and this is up 6% already from what it was making a year ago.
Well said.
So if you consider that, it's a loss for both technically.
What do you mean?
I mean that, so it's expected to make 26% of the global revenue.
Right.
This puts a hit for both.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. I don't know, Joey.
Well, it hurts Tata's reputation.
Pardon me? It's a monster company, man. They own Jaguar, they own Land Rover. It's a huge company.
You know who's buying that information?
Yeah, everybody, of course. Xiaomi's going to buy, everybody and their mother's going to buy that, man. You know what I mean? Like, because you want to see how Apple does business, right? Even if you don't directly compete with Apple, you want a little bit of the secret sauce.
Yeah.
So you can apply it to your own recipe.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? All right, let's head back to Sia and talk about the next story.
Thank you so much. Let's talk a little bit Microsoft. So Anthropic announced that its Claude AI models are now generally available through Microsoft Foundry on Azure. So giving enterprise customers a native access to Claude using Azure's existing security, billing, and governance infrastructure. So this launch does include Claude Opus 4.8 and Claude Haiku 4.5, which targets coding AI agents as well as advanced reasoning workloads. And these are all areas where enterprise AI spending continues to accelerate even now. So separately, NVIDIA, as we do know, it has announced Claude models hosted on Azure that are running on latest GB300 Blackwell Ultra GPUs, which in a way does reinforce Microsoft's positioning as the premier AI infrastructure partner provider. But Anthropic has also expanded Claude's availability across Amazon Bedrock and Google Cloud, which highlights that AI race here is increasingly a multi-cloud race rather than just remaining exclusive. But Microsoft with that is currently trading flat.
At half, yeah. I like this. I also like the fact that, you know, this plays more into the narrative. I don't want to say the fallout between Nadella and Altman, but the diversification by Nadella away from Altman, right? Especially now that a lot of people do consider Claude to be the premier model. And no point hitching your wagon to the what used to be the premier model. So I do like this. I also like the fact that they're obviously getting Azure usage out of this, and that obviously creates good revenue for their cloud. So good look here for Claude. I don't really have much other than to say that Anthropic continues to rent out space from the hyperscalers because they don't have their own data
Yeah,
centers.
they don't have, exactly, man. And I mean, it's funny. I like how you mentioned the fact that Microsoft looking to diversify, still being the largest investor within OpenAI, but they're not putting all their eggs in one basket. They're striking deals with Anthropic, which I think is extremely important. And it's unfortunate, like you have these massive deals between both, like with outstanding RPO between OpenAI and Anthropic, but yet the stock has been the worst performing Mag 7. So there's something going on behind everything. Copilot needs to pick up a little bit of steam. They're spending a lot of money and bleeding money on that as well too. So it's unfortunate the situation that Microsoft is in, but the narrative may change when both of these companies IPO and they come to public markets, and then you finally get to see some of the financial reports. Who knows what can happen with Microsoft, but I think Wall Street is really beating them up for that. Like Azure's growing at double digits. It came in a little bit lower than expected. I understand that. But the whole cloud space is still growing at an exponential clip rate, and it's unfortunate that this stock hasn't been able to perform.
Let's play what are we up or down? Okay, we just talked about Softy right now.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little Microsoft. I know you're cold, but tell me, percentage down on the year. I'll just give you
on the year?
On the year to date, January 1st onward.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say 28%.
You've been doing well at
28%.
28%. Again, you're in the ballpark.
Okay, so
you're
it was probably 35.
23%
Oh.
negative. You know who's next?
Oh, Meta.
Bang. 15% on Meta.
Yeah.
Okay,
Keep
everything else
going.
green.
Keep going, man.
Everything else green.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so, well, do you want to include SpaceX as a hyperscaler?
Yeah, what?
Well,
they are.
it's down 7% since the IPO,
Okay.
right? But you want to talk about Flakes? Flakes is not a hyperscaler, but they're down 23% as well.
Who's the
year to date.
Flakes?
Netflix.
Oh, no, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I see what you did there.
So Apple's up 6%. Google is up 12.5%, because Goog and Google, right?
Yeah.
So 14% for Google. Amazon is up 3.4%.
You combine
and then
Google
NVIDIA
and Google?
6.3.
You combine
I
Google
don't.
and Google?
Look, one says
okay.
12.5, the other one says 13.89.
Okay.
So most of the hyperscalers are still green, save and except for Microsoft and Meta at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. I think that, does it jive with the recent,
Pull a good old Justin Trudeau.
Yeah, oh God.
You remember when he did that to the iron workers? Remember? Did you ever see that? When he, when
the guy was pressing him?
Yeah, he's like, what?
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, that was good times.
But yeah, no, I don't know what's going on with Meta. It's unfortunate.
Well, another hyperscaler is coming up on the next story, Joey.
Oh, do we?
Yep.
Okay.
Definitely, we do have talking about Amazon here. So I would definitely say this is a bit more restricted to Australia, but it's, yes, an important story to discuss over here. So Australia's competition regulator, that is the ACCC, is suing Amazon Australia, where it has alleged that the company has used unfair contract terms to force annual Prime subscribers to either accept advertisements on Prime Video or pay an additional Australian dollars, $2.99 Australian dollars a month for an ad-free. So I wonder where we saw this recently. The regulator has also argued that more than 1 million Australian Prime members were given no meaningful choice or refund options where ads were introduced in July 2024. So the ACCC is seeking penalties, consumer compensation, and also court orders. And on the other hand, Amazon has said that it is reviewing this case and also complying with the investigation, cooperating with all of that. The lawsuit is, yes, like I mentioned, geographically limited to Australia, and it's unlikely to have a materialistic financial impact on Amazon as a whole, but it does add to the company's broader scrutiny, regulatory scrutiny, financially, globally.
But you know what we see, Sia, all the time, right? One jurisdiction takes the initiative and, comes at them with this kind of regulatory push, and then we see other jurisdictions adopt or espouse that same push, right? We see it in Europe, North America, and now you're seeing it in Australia. So here's what I want to mention, okay? So what the issue was here is that the regulator is alleging that Amazon didn't notify that they were going to get a $2.99, which is what the increase is, and that they didn't give them the, I guess, the out in case they didn't want to be moved up. And Amazon is arguing otherwise. They're saying, look, you can still cancel, and we told everybody that it was going to go up in price, right? North America has already happened. If you have Amazon Prime here, like I still have it, but I never use it, right? I woke up one day, I turned it on, I wanted to watch, I think Married with Children or something was on it, and then all of a sudden there were commercials. I had no idea that there was commercials because I never used to be on Amazon Prime. And so the regulator is using this, I don't want to say newly enacted, it's 3 years, 1-0 for Norway. So this enacted legislation called the Unfair Contract Terms Regime. It was enacted on November of 2023, and that's what they're using here. And they're basically saying you didn't give our citizens, 850,000 of them, the requisite notice that prices were going to go up, and for whatever reason, you didn't facilitate an easy enough cancellation if they didn't want to join. Amazon argues those facts. I guess the court will be able to tell.
Yeah, I mean, you might have a couple of years of compensation here, Sharif. This might take a while because this happened between 2023 and 2025. And to add to Sharif's point, they really didn't start rolling out ads until July of 2024. So, I mean, I think this is just going to be a slap on the wrist at the end of the day. It's not going to be any major hindrance to the stock in itself, but it just shows you that Australia, once again, Sharif, really starting to take, I'm not going to say it's a Europe at all because I don't think that's necessarily the case, but from a regulatory standpoint, these guys are really starting to drive to move this train. Well, think about it from a social media standpoint. These guys are like saying, hey, you have to have a specific age limit. Who is that going to affect the most? Obviously, some of the American companies, Meta, via Instagram, Snapchats of the world, and everything along those lines. And now you're seeing them start to lay their foot down with what's going on with Amazon. So Australia not playing any games here, man.
What's going on over there, Katina man?
Short Amazon.
The Katina man is short Amazon as we're talking about it right now. Get it, Katina man. Did you talk about the amount of fine that they could get dinged?
No, I said. Well,
okay, I was going to mention that.
Yeah, I was
going
to say. Oh, okay. Oh, no, I didn't see.
I'll mention it. So it's either 50 million Australian dollars, 50 million Australian dollars, or 30% of the company's adjusted corporate turnover during the breach period. And I think that's why you mentioned the breach period.
Yeah,
for exactly that point.
So.
All right, so multi-billion-dollar liability ceiling. That's what we're talking about here. So you better believe Amazon will defend this vigorously.
But 50 billion Australian dollars is like 35.
50 million.
50 million.
Yeah.
50 million is like 35 million USD.
Or
30%. So
Yeah,
which one's
exactly.
ever less?
Which one is less or more?
I would say
greater. It says here, the
it has
maximum penalty per breach is calculated as the greater of 50 million Australian dollars, or 30% of the company's adjusted.
Okay.
All right, let's send it back to C.
Thank you so much. Let's take a look at Uber and Waymo ending their partnership in Phoenix. So Bloomberg has reported that Uber and Alphabet-backed Waymo have ended their partnership in Phoenix, where Waymo vehicles had also been used for food delivery. So Uber is now reportedly looking for different Robotaxi partners in that city. Neither company, however, has commented publicly, and Waymo continues expanding elsewhere. So Uber has aggressively been diversifying its autonomous vehicle strategy through partnerships with multiple AV developers, reducing this reliance on any single provider as we see the Robotaxi market evolving. So with that, I did mention in the Sector Watch, Uber down 3.4% on the day.
They're going to use their $250,000 iPaces for DoorDash. So here's what they're doing. Internal logistics desks note that Waymo is directly reallocating the reclaimed Phoenix hardware to aggressively service its expanding public transit deal via transportation and its direct delivery agreement with DoorDash, which is Uber's primary food delivery arch rival, right? So this is interesting here. So I don't know. I think you could probably do a little bit better with a $250,000 car. But I did see one time my friend send me a video of a DoorDash guy dropping off food to his neighbor in an Urus.
Yeah, right.
In an Urus. He was doing Uber delivery, Uber Eats with an Urus. So I guess if you can do it in an Urus, You can do it in an iPace, right? It costs $250,000.
You see what
bucks
people
to
do
run.
though? Like apparently, like what like a group of kids will do. There'll be like 5 of them. They'll buy like this car. They'll all
Seen
put
that.
their name on it, and then
Yeah.
they'll just like trade it in for a week.
Yeah. So Rainey, I'm not even kidding. He sent me a video of a dude pulling up in an Urus in a nice neighborhood, got out with the bag, walked up to the door, dropped off the food, so he's clearly food delivery, and got back in the Urus.
Okay.
I had it. I'm not even lying to you. But that is kind of the way it is, man.
I think you need to ask yourself, I mean, this is only Phoenix, but what is this the start of here? Could you see a little bit more of a collapse between the two companies?
Probably.
Right? Like, which, I mean, who needs who more, I think, is the question that you need to be asking yourself. There goes NVDA breaking through the high of the day on no volume almost. But hey, we'll see what we got going on. I think the question needs to be who needs who more. And I don't think it's Waymo, Google's Waymo needing Uber more than what Uber needs the other one.
Yeah, and don't forget that Waymo,
Yeah.
and is it Geely? Zeekr, sorry. Zeekr.
Okay.
Don't forget they got that Ojai, that new $75,000 platform. So they're kind of moving away from the iPace, right? We talked about that, $250,000
Yeah.
for iPace, $75,000 per unit, and that includes the 100% tax they're going to pay on those imported models. We'll show you what those look like in a second, but we got to go to Dare.
Keep an eye on Boeing. Nothing massive here, but a bit of a headline to maybe keep an eye on going forward. Comments coming from the SPEEA. This is the Society of Professional Engineering Employees in Aerospace. This is, in fact, a labor union. They basically said their negotiators are going to start formal contract talks with Boeing tomorrow on July 1st. Apparently, the goal here is to negotiate 2 collective bargaining agreements covering roughly 13,000 engineers and 4,000 technical workers. Again, those talks kicking off tomorrow. Back to you.
This is Tiffany. This is it. This is what we're going to start seeing now. Instead of the Jaguar I-Pace. Now you're going to see it on mass, Joey. And this car right here is fully Chinese. It is Zeekr, which we know it was delisted, I think. It used to be ZK, I think on the NYSE or the Nasdaq, whatever. And now they're doing a deal with Google. And you and I talked about this. The politics and the optics of this.
Yeah.
It's just not the right
don't like
move,
it?
man. I don't care about the car. I'm just thinking Google, like, you know, there's this whole made in America, make in America, reshore, friendshore, onshore.
Yeah.
And you're going to go and you're going to make a deal with a Chinese EV, aggravate the hell out of President Trump, probably, right? Pay 100% tax on that. And still.
It's cheap. It's still cheaper than what they're using.
I think that's why they're doing it.
Right? So like what American-made vehicle would they use that they can mass produce this on for a lower price?
It's a great question.
Right? So I don't know.
The Mustang Mach-E, I don't know.
Maybe.
Like
how much is that thing?
I
like it.
I don't mind it, but Ford loses about $35,000.
So how sustainable is that? How do you lose that much money and still produce these things?
It looks so cute.
This thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It looks so.
I don't hate it. See, don't get me wrong.
No,
I'm not
like
hating on it, but like
it's
just the politics are.
Yeah, it's reminding me of this little baby truck that my little brother had when he used to play with. It's very cute. The color is cute too.
I love it. Who thought Google was a genius using Jaguars for Waymo in the first place, says Hanger.
Yeah, it's a very valid point.
I'm assuming it probably had something to do with the ability to customize it. You know, they probably tried a bunch of different.
Well, it's just strapping all the LiDAR onto it, all the camera.
I'm not pretending to know exactly, but in any event, this is what they're gonna do, and.
No, maybe they just thought they're like, hey, let's get this luxury vehicle. I'm sure they could have found an alternative other than.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the interior on this. This is what it looks like. Not like it really matters exactly here, Joey, what the interior looks like, but this is what it's going to look like, guys. That's the interior, 3 rows, obviously. We're looking at 3 rows.
I still like Zooks the best.
Zooks, eh?
Yeah, because it has like that. I think that's such a different and cool look. You'd have the seats facing each other.
I don't mind that. Yeah, it feels very like. You're in a theme park, moving from one location to the other.
Yeah, I like it.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. It's more like an open concept.
All right, guys, having a great time with you guys in the chat, man. There's all this stuff moving. Bovin says YOOV. And Casey kind of loves that. So YOOV, keep your eye out on that. While you keep your eye out on that, Sia's going to tell you about this.
Sorry, just a second. I'm trying to pull up the chart. There we go. AMAT is what we're talking about next. Applied Materials. So AMAT is up almost 6%. It's gained after multiple Wall Street analysts have raised their price targets, but reinforcing the view that semiconductor equipment demand continues to remain strong. And AI infrastructure also speed as the AI infrastructure spending continues to accelerate. This momentum keeps holding strong. So Cantor Fitzgerald has lifted its target to $850 from $550, which is pretty much over there, maintaining an overweight rating, so calling Applied one of its preferred equipment names alongside Lam Research and KLA. It's also expecting ASML to post one of the strongest earning beats in the group. KeyBank has also reiterated its overweight rating while also increasing price target to $750 from $550, reflecting this continued confidence in wafer fabrication spending as well. The stock is trading near record highs ahead of its earnings report coming August 13th.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we talk about following the money within the hyperscalers and where does it really start? So that's why you've seen companies like Caterpillar really start to outperform the market. And then right behind it, up over 320% from last September, is Applied Materials. And then you have the Lam Researches of the world, and you also have the ASMLs. So this is at the beginning stages, and I'm not going to call it the picks and shovels, but it's relatively close. It's those first initial steps. And what the term follow the money is who is getting paid throughout this. Like, listen, we talk about NVDA all the time. All they do is design the chip itself, and then they ship it over to Taiwan for it to be fabricated, all right? So Applied Materials is expecting to report quarterly results on August 13th. Wall Street expects earnings of $3.38 per share, up from $2.48 a year earlier. Big jump on revenue of $9 billion compared to $7.3 billion the prior year period. The stock trades at about 65.3 times earnings, which I really want to focus on is extremely expensive, especially when you've had over 300% gain in the underlying asset in less than a year. Analysts maintain an overall buy rating with this and a price target I've seen of some at $900, which is 33% from where we're currently trading at. So they're saying that you can still see some substantial returns throughout this name specifically. But look what happened. We talk about Micron, where you have these blowout quarters, NVDA blowout quarters, but the market's already caught up and priced in the valuations. So just be cautious. Even though we're seeing these exponential growth through a lot of these names and within this chip trade through the memory trade name, the market's going to price this in because they can see the projections, they know what's going on behind the scenes, and sure enough, there's a couple of handful names that were I actually noticed the growth in the street not pricing it in, and one of them was Robinhood, to be honest with you, Sharif, and that came through the cryptocurrencies, the increase in options activity, but two completely different sectors. But just be cautious in case the market has priced this in, and you go through the report stating like, hey, like what's going on? These numbers are phenomenal. You're beating by triple digits. You're raising your guidance, but the stock's not moving how you expect it to. It's because it's already priced in.
Well said, Joey. I want to bring everybody's attention to the one Bovin. 88 pennies halted to the upside. YOOV, big mover on the day. YOOV is up 127.98%. It is halted right at 88 pennies. Big move up here for this name. It is a sub $1 name. Love hearing it. Resumption, KC says 91 pennies. Get it. I love how like Bovin and Casey are going back and forth about who called it. Get it, guys. Yeah, both killed it, man. $199 million market cap, guys. Keep your eye out on Concord International. YOOV, halted to the upside at 88 pennies, pardon me. Did we talk about, because I wasn't here, did we talk about the endless upgrades on AMAT?
Yeah.
We did, okay.
I talked about
Beautiful.
Like a $900 price target on this.
Fantastic,
thing,
man.
And it's 33% from where we're
900, you say? Okay.
That's a big move, man.
It's a big boy move. All right.
33%.
What's going on over there, Katina Man? The Katina Man says Amazon is getting shellacked, and Amazon is now negative on the day, down 0.09, losing 240. Katina Man, where are you short, brother? 239.50 into the low, local area low, I should say. We go. Great trade there, Katina, man. Good call, brother. Hope you print up multiple storms. And while he's printing let's send you back to see.
Thank you. SMCI currently up on the day. So SMCI has rebounded modestly after the 8% sell-off, but there are certain regulatory concerns that we're going to talk about that continue to remain in focus, which followed the expanded investigation by Taiwanese authorities. Prosecutors have searched SMCI's Taiwan office, executive homes, as well as affiliated companies as part of the investigation into the alleged movement of NVIDIA AI servers to restricted Chinese customers through partner Ablecom Technology. So it follows arrests that had been made back in May, which adds to the ongoing U.S. scrutiny after former Supermicro co-founder Wally Liao, who had been charged earlier this year in connection with alleged exports of NVIDIA systems. So as a reaction to this, Liao has resigned from the board and had pleaded not guilty. Importantly, SMCI has also said that it's cooperating fully with the Taiwanese authorities. Overall, I would say the investigation currently centers on these individuals and affiliates rather than just alleging the wrongdoing by the company in Centerpiece by itself.
So under current Taiwanese law, re-exporting US AI chips to China apparently is not a distinct criminal offense. To circumvent this gaping statutory loophole, apparently, Taiwanese prosecutors are heavily relying on what they're calling creative proxy charges, specifically document forgery, customs fraud, and corporate breach of trust to kind of legally execute these raids and freeze the hardware. So it looks as if the actual act itself, taking American chips, sending it to China, apparently under current Taiwanese law is not illegal, but there was other things that were done tangential to it, of course, that were, and those are the grounds upon which they're using to kind of execute the search and do the entire investigation as well. Listed distributor arbitration. So coverage treats the raid as an isolated Supermicro event. We know that that's not the case. Keylong prosecutors officially raided and brought in executives from Albatron Technology, which is Supermicro's primary localized distributor, as well as the chief telecom, which is signaling, I guess, the illicit routing ring penetrates deeply into Taiwan's legitimate public server supply chain. So it looks as if this goes wider than simply Supermicro, being a little bit and doing interesting things there. Guys, YOOV is going to halt up again. You guys are killing it on this, man. 111 halt up. We were halted at 88. Now, oh, wow, that came back pretty quickly. I thought it was going to halt at 111. Holding one, though, Joey. YOOV, a bunch of halts to the upside here, dancing with that dollar area. Let's see how this cookie crumbles. What's your take on this, though?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? Like, this doesn't seem like anything new for us. Obviously, Taiwan's starting to step into things. 6 people being apprehended in this case. But listen, it started with the fishy accounting practices. Then they started smuggling. Like, this is nothing new for SMCI, which is sad to say, to be honest with you. So, I mean, listen, Taiwan doesn't want them smuggled. Obviously, United States don't want them smuggled. But let's be real. China's going to get their hands on it, whether it be through, what's the other alternative route that they were going through there? Singapore as well. So,
Malaysia.
I mean, hey, I don't understand what's going on with SMCI and why the stock absolutely isn't tanking. Because what if everything is revoked from them? And it's like, hey, you guys can no longer do what you're doing and operate in the United States.
Great question.
Right? So that's one thing that I find curious, because if you ask me, it's a pretty big deal considering it's been an ongoing conflict between China and the United States, whether to sell them chips or not.
What does SMCI stand for? And I want wrong answers only.
Wrong.
This is great over here. I love the chat,
that, man? There's probably some good ones.
Smuggling microchips internationally. Microchips being 2 words there.
That's what it is, man.
Smuggling microchips. Get it, Alan.
That's a good one, man.
Bloom.
Where's Daniel? Where's Daniel, son of cheese? Because he loves these people.
Yeah. Where is he?
He's in his
and all the cheese grater.
He's in there all the time. He's probably listening.
Shout out to him, man. All right, Joey. A couple of minutes left. Should we let you off to set up or what?
Yeah. I'm already all set up. We're over there. I don't know where Katina
You're good to go. That's okay. That's okay. You can do the show on your own.
Yeah,
over there,
well,
right?
oh man, you're asking a lot now.
Full day, and you got to do it on your own.
And I want to go outside, man.
All right, man. Yeah, you probably don't want to though.
I told you, man.
I don't know, man.
City TV
Joey, it's
interviewed.
bad out there, man.
City TV interviewed me, man.
All right. Let's take a look at YOOV. Coming down a little bit here, though, guys. 111 high. It's doing a lot of volume very quickly. It is south of the dollar area again, though, but it's right at that critical area. 88 pennies was the halt level. And we've talked about this a lot. These halt levels end up being intraday areas of support and resistance. And right now, it's acting as that support level into 88, back into 99. I hope somebody bought that off, the halt level there. But as we talk about the good, let's talk about the bad. The $1 area, despite getting breached earlier, is now a bit of an area of resistance as the shorts are alive to this one, and they're looking at taking it down. So, guys, don't fall in love with the name. Trade the technicals. Currently, we have 88 penny support and $1 resistance. Depending on how this cookie crumbles, we'll have to wait and see. So shout out to everybody there who took it in the chat. You guys all killed it. I hope you did well on that one. A11Y Guru, Meta and AMD stock once AMD crossed 600. What does that mean, brother? But I didn't see AMD cross 600. Has it crossed 600 before? No, man. We're at all-time highs right now on AMD. 582.60, all-time highs. Advanced money destroy. Katina, man, can I tell you something, brother? You know about the market cap right now? We're knocking the door of $1 trillion. $945 billion market cap, Katina, man, for advanced money duplicator now. It was, very maliciously called the destroyer by Joey. But I'm sure he'll probably echo my sentiment here, up 7 2/3 on the day. Fantastic look for AMD as it closes in on that $1 trillion market cap. Continuing to watch the Assassino, YOOV as it continues to hold that 88 penny area, but continues to reject as well the $1 area. So be alive to that one. Hangry Wife, what is going on over there, brother? Super Micro Casino Investments. Shout out to my man, Hangry Wife. Hope everybody had a fantastic day on the show with Joey and I. Sorry the trading couldn't a little bit better. Tough day for myself. Anyway, we're in the world of small cap gappers. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning to do the morning note, but it will be OB with you guys tomorrow on the midday show. So show OB some love. I'll see you guys, everybody. I'll see everybody back next Monday. Hope everybody has a good time. Take care, guys.